Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, November 4th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got Monday Night Football, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. One team is 4-4. The other is 7-0. We have a lot of rain here in Kansas City, so I assume there's going to be a lot of ground and pound and a lot of running. Tampa Bay is out with their starting three wide receivers. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, and no Jalen McMillan. So, again, this is going to be a tough one for the Bucs. I assume that we will fight like hell. Anything is possible. We know the Chiefs are 7-0, and some of the wins haven't been pretty, but at the end of the day, they are undefeated, and they are 7-0. So they find ways to win, even if Patrick Mahomes is having a little bit of a lackluster type of year with his touchdown to interception ratio. But hopefully it ends up being an entertaining first half. And then if Kansas City ends up pulling away in the second half, I wouldn't be surprised. If Tampa ends up getting the upset, I would be a little shocked. But for that to happen, we're going to have to get some good production on the ground, obviously with Rashad White and Bucky Irving. And obviously you're going to have to find other opportunities with maybe like the tight end, Cade Otton, might have to be in the end zone once or twice to have us be kind of close. And also, we're going to have to be able to make some turnovers on Pat. So if we're going to have any chance of winning this game or even being close, we're going to have to get some sack lunches. We're going to have to get some strip sacks, a punch out, a fumble, maybe an interception, a special teams touchdown, a punt return, a kick return for a touchdown, a pick six, a fumble for a touchdown. But again, we're going to probably have to get at least 2 interceptions on Pat. Obviously today, the way that he has played, it seems like that is something that could be doable, but can we score off the turnovers? We'll have to wait and see. But obviously the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in football right now. The Detroit Lions are nipping at their heels, obviously, with just a loss. So we'll see on how it goes. We might end up getting a Kansas City Chiefs Detroit Lions Super Bowl. I know that would be very, very exciting. But here on Monday night, hopefully Tampa brings their A-plus effort. But just a sad day when I can't have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Jalen McMillan, or 1, 2, and 3 options at wide receiver. Definitely makes it a lot harder for Baker Mayfield. But LFB, let's fucking bake, and hopefully we can end up making it somewhat competitive here tonight. Matthew in the building, what's good? Odin's son in the building, what's good? Cool Kid in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. Megan in the building, what's good? If we ended up having more options at wide receiver, it would definitely make me feel a little bit better. Kansas City should be favored in the game. We don't have, our full complement of weapons. We were looking like a team where we would be able to win the NFC South and make a deep run, possibly in the NFC Championship game. But once you end up losing your top 2 wide receivers that are Hall of Famers, not only are we not going to make the playoffs, we're not going to win the NFC South. We might be able to finish in second place behind the Falcons, but we can just have to play the best that we can with the weapons that we have left. And definitely it was a not ideal situation to lose Mike and Chris. And I know Baker will fight like hell, but again, it's a lot different when you don't have your top 2 weapons on offense to throw to. And again, we'll see what happens. And it's not like the Chiefs have been blowing teams out. So, there's always going to be a chance, to get a dub against a team that, yes, is 7-0. But I definitely think that, crazier things have happened, right? And again, this is a trap game for Kansas City. We have nothing to lose. So Baker is just going to sling it, and he's going to go out there and just try to play the best that he can. And it'll probably lead to a couple touchdown passes and probably a couple picks. So, it wouldn't surprise me if Baker has 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, if Patrick Mahomes has 1 or 2 touchdowns and 1 or 2 picks. But we'll have to wait and see on how it kind of all plays out. But hopefully we can end up finding a way. Now, if we do get the upset win and win today, that'll definitely give us a better percentage on to be able to try to keep up with the Falcons for the NFC South crown. But I just don't know if that is going to be something sustainable with a 4-4 record. We still got quite a few games to go, and it's not like we're going to get Chris Godwin back. We will be getting Mike Evans back probably in like a month or something of that nature, and that will definitely help. But I don't know what our record is going to be at that particular point. But hopefully we bring the effort and we bring the energy, and we'll see on how it goes. Let's go, baby. And on the thumb, you already know who it is. We got Baker Mayfield, LFB, baby, on the left, and we got Patrick the Clone Mahomes, Showtime, on the right. I see you, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. I would definitely appreciate that. And again, we're going to try to go for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And we'll obviously be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. And I got the gloves, but I don't know how many times I'll actually be able to throw them on and celebrate. Could get pretty ugly. Weather, obviously, is not going to be very good. Should be a lot of, ground and pound here today. But at some point, they're going to have to, throw it up. And, and we'll just see how the wind is. We'll see how the rain is. And hopefully it ends up being an entertaining matchup through and through. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bake. And I'm glad that we actually have a quarterback that I like. For some people, they're having issues with their quarterbacks and offensive lines. And, it's been tough, like I said, and it shows you how important a good offensive line is, for your team and for your quarterback. If you don't have a defense, if you don't have an offensive line that's good, it puts a hell of a lot more pressure on the quarterback and the offensive coordinator to try to be able to make plays that are positive, to lead to positive plays for first downs, big opportunities for field goals, and obviously the ultimate touchdowns. And luckily for us, our offensive line is pretty good. We end up having some pretty solid pieces up front with Tristan Wirfs and Graham Barton. So I like our offensive line. Defense, I like our defense as well. We definitely like to fly around. We did get exposed, by the Atlanta Falcons, obviously with the tight end position with Kyle Pitts. And it kind of feels like, when things are going good, right, everything is great, right? But when it starts pouring and when it rains, it pours. And, we still haven't really fully recovered after losing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. But this will give us an opportunity tonight where we can play loose. We can play free. There's no pressure on us. We just have to go out there and ball. And hopefully we don't have a lot of fumbles or turnovers. And if that's the case, we might, be able to be in striking distance, late in the game, even though I think most people feel that Kansas City is going to end up winning by 10 to 14, which I wouldn't disagree with. I definitely could see that happening. But if we want to be able to get this game within, let's say, 7 points or less, within a touchdown or less, the defense and the offensive line have to dominate today and have to make it a little bit difficult for Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball. We're going to have to force some turnovers, and obviously we're going to have our running game open up our passing game here today. And again, with the rain coming down in Kansas City, I would assume that Kareem Hunt will end up getting, if not 100 yards, very, very close to 100 yards, but I would assume 80 to 120 yards for obviously Kareem Hunt. It wouldn't shock me if he scores once or twice. And if that's the case, hopefully we can get about 80 to 120 yards combined with guys like Rashad White and Bucky Irving. And hopefully we can match the touchdown production, maybe one with Rashad White, maybe one with Bucky, something like that. And then hopefully Cade Otton can maybe make up for the difference for not having Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or even our number 3 wide receiver, rookie draft pick from the Washington Huskies, Jalen McMillan. So this is one of the first games. I was going to say this is probably the second game where we haven't been able to have those three together. And again, when a McMillan is in, he can be a capable wide receiver too. But when you don't have him, then it's going to be a lot of Sterling Shepard, the other backups, and Baker played with Sterling at Oklahoma in college, so they have a little bit of rapport. But I would assume, that Cade Otton will be the main target and the check down guy, as well as Rashad White and Bucky Irving. We're going to have to see if we can find a way to keep this one somewhat close as the game goes on. Reflect in the building. What's good? Captain Ori in the building. What's good? I just want the game to be somewhat competitive, hopefully no blowouts, and we'll see where it goes. "13 points on defense." Yeah, obviously, if Reichard wouldn't have shit the bed for you, right, and you would have gotten your normal one touchdown out of Kyren Williams minimum, right, then we wouldn't be talking about how many points you need because you would have won. But unfortunate that sometimes that happens, and when you have solid pieces, but then you end up kind of streaming a defense or streaming a kicker, and you and me kind of do the same thing. And when that happens, most of the time with our research, and obviously going through the numbers and we calculate everything, normally it goes in our favor, and we end up picking the right defense or the right streaming kicker to get us, at least minimum 8, but we're shooting for 10 to 15, if not more. It's very rare where we end up picking a guy on defense or at kicker and they shit the bed and give us 5 points or less, and if that ends up happening, it's hard to win. It's hard to win when you end up getting low numbers out of your kicker and your defense, or both, or one or the other. So we'll see what happens. It wouldn't shock me if Kansas City picks off Baker and we don't play very well. 13 points is a little high for the defense, but not impossible. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe you'll be able to get those numbers. And obviously, for you to get those numbers, you probably would have to get a pick 6 on Baker. So, or something of that nature. So we'll kind of wait and see. But even if you do suffer, your first loss, you still got the best team, top to bottom, hands down. And again, yeah, it is going to be just one game, to decide who makes it to the championship, and then just one game. So it's not going to be a best of 2 weeks. But still, nobody really goes undefeated in fantasy, even if you have a dominant team. Usually the week that you have the most players on bye, even if you're an undefeated team, that's usually the week that you lose. And then if you end up being unlucky, or you end up streaming a position that underwhelms, sometimes you'll end up dropping another one. So if you end up dropping 1 or 2 games, it's not going to really make a difference. I think you're still going to be heavily favored to win it all, based off your players. But one thing that I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go 6-0, and I'm going to try to go 8-6, and I'm going to try to get that last playoff spot. And with the players that I have, I actually think I can do it. It's going to be tough, but Christian McCaffrey will be back next week, and I got the steal on the wire, Tillman from the Browns. And if I can end up getting 18 to 20 points a week out of Tillman at a wide receiver too, I'm going to be cooking. And again, I'll have guys, rotated in at quarterback and defense and kicker and whatnot. But I'm liking my chances, whether it's Stafford or if I go Sam Darnold, right? But having Kareem Hunt, Devontae Adams, Downs, Andrews, Cooper Kupp, CMC, Aubrey at kicker, right? Connor, Pollard, Shakir, Tillman will be a big X factor. And then we'll see what happens with Mike Evans as we get later on in the year. But I know it won't be easy, and I'll have to get a little bit lucky when I play the rest of the season. Hopefully that you guys will have tough matchups with your superstars. And if that ends up being the case, that I might have a chance, even though statistically speaking, it says that I don't. But if I go 6-0, I will have a chance to get that last spot. Definitely going to be a hard goal to go after. But, again, I haven't been able to use any of my superstars And next week, week 10, will be the first week that I actually have a full roster that I can actually use all my players, Christian McCaffrey and Cooper Kupp. And again, when you can get 50 or 60 points out of two players, that ultimately can help you win, especially if they're top tier guys like Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey if they stay healthy. So we'll see where it goes. And I appreciate all the other individuals beating others. And obviously, some games are going to be very, very close. Obviously, Wazzini squeaking one out against Megan, having her best week in fantasy ever. Unfortunately, it ended up in an L. But again, you got great players, and sometimes it's just bad luck on the team that you match up against. You would have really beaten everyone but her that week. And that's the same thing that happened with me and Shep a couple weeks ago when I desperately needed a win. And I scored more points than anybody all week, except for one person, the person that I was playing. And sometimes we have that bad luck in fantasy. All right, here we go. Oh my God! Could you imagine if I ended up coming back and winning the crown? I mean, obviously I would want to play you, but if I ended up making fourth place and you were in first, that would mean I would have to clip you in the first round and then play whoever, Shep or Zini in the second round. Unless you end up not being first place when it gets down to the end of the season, but I highly doubt that. Yeah, there'll be a couple teams close to you, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if I could come back and win the championship or even get to the playoffs, that would be incredible. Travis Kelce with the little short game. But I mean, to start off a year, being 2-6, I don't think I've heard of anybody having a record that bad and then making it to the playoffs, let alone winning it all. But I'll tell you what, that would be the biggest accomplishment in my fantasy history of ever playing, because I've never gotten in a hole this bad. But again, I've never drafted players like Cooper Kupp or Christian McCaffrey, and I paid the price for doing it. So, but maybe they'll be able to give me a little retribution here late in the year. Mahomes, hands off. 3rd down and 1. And obviously, you're going to have to be looking at your CeeDee Lamb situation, because it looks like Dak is going to be out for a few weeks to a month. So the CeeDee Lamb value is going to go down a little. But Cooper Rush has still got enough talent to get Dak the ball, or not Dak the ball, but to get CD the ball. But again, not the same type of player as Dak Prescott, but maybe Cooper Rush will be a better thrower, and maybe he'll get more targets to CD, even though it might not give you those big 30-point weeks. Nice catch. First down, Chiefs. Travis Kelce taking advantage early and often, just like Kyle Pitts and the Atlanta Falcons. They're definitely going to be targeting our linebackers, and Travis Kelce should have a field day today. Yeah, but if CeeDee Lamb still puts up 15 to 20, you can still make the championship and win it all. It's like, and at some point you're going to get Nico Collins back as well, right in the nick of time. It's just you can't have CeeDee Lamb going down to like 5 to 9 points. You have to as long as he gets targets, he should still be capable. Little handoff, short game. Reflect with a tenor. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $10 holla. And I did a little playing around. I was going to change the banner color on the bottom, and I did. And then sometimes it'll end up making the donos and the comments a little bit bigger there on the screen, depending on how I adjust it. So thank you so much. We're at 10:90 to go. 2nd down and 8. Steele right up the middle. Had a little bit of a fumbling problem at the beginning of the year when Pacheco went down. Had a very good preseason and a very likable player, kind of a poor man's Mike Allstott type of player. Not going to give you the same type of ability of a Mike Allstott, but a guy that definitely can run you over. And they'll be implementing him, sporadically in the lineup here. 3rd down and 3. I haven't heard anything on the CD MRI, but it sounds like Tez Johnson isn't out for the year. There's Travis Kelce. And obviously that's based on one of the reporters, through ESPN. So I don't know how, accurate that is, but it sounds like Tez for the Ducks might be able to come back, during like the college football playoff but he's definitely going to be out, I would assume, more than a month. But we'll see if that ends up being true or not. And a good game plan by the Kansas City Chiefs for attacking our linebackers. Obviously, being a little bit beat up, injured. We don't have our starters at wide receiver, 1, 2, or 3, Evans, Godwin, or McMillan. Wide open, touchdown. Oh, did he go out of bounds? Oh, Xavier Worthy didn't get his feet down. Unbelievable. Let's see if he got both feet in. Let me see. One. Oh, that one's on the line, though. So it looks like he got one, but he didn't get the other. Right foot is slightly out also, and then the left foot that drop is definitely out. So that would have been a sweet touchdown. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $5 holla. We're at 15.85 to go. Yeah, but that's a good number to put up, and it probably would have been more disappointing if you had a better record. Just trying to be able to hit one of those playoff spots. But I mean, considering you, me, and Sarah are at the bottom, if we have to play spoiler the rest of the year, you got really fucking close on spoiling Zini that week. And it wouldn't shock me with the roster that you have if you put up another 150 before the season ends. You definitely are capable. But really, the difference for you was those double tight ends and having both of them score and then one scoring twice. That was really your saving grace, because otherwise you probably would have put up 120, 125. But getting both of your tight ends to hit, tight end and the flex in the tight end, that really was the difference. And you definitely were deserving of a win. 3rd down and 8. Yeah, just imagine if you would have played Gesicki and JSN. That would have been the difference. Shotgun set. Mahomes. 3rd down and 8. Get him. Yeah, baby. 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a Washington Husky Vita Vea sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. There we go. That's my boy. That's my boy. And again, when you end up having a big guy up front, take note, Seattle Seahawks fans, when you can get someone like this that can be a disruptor, it is a game changer. And not very many teams have a very elite top 5 nose tackle, D tackle. I had Warren Sapp. Now I have Vita Vea. And let me tell you, that guy has won us more games than I can count. Nice job by Vita Vea, the Husky coming through big and pushing back from field goal range. Awesome. There we go. Fair catch. All right, time for the Tampa Bay offense. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to throw these gloves up, but probably only a couple. Good defense, baby. And obviously, we're typically known as normally a running team and good defense, but obviously the running game really wasn't great a couple years ago, but we're trying to get better at it. Let's go, baby. And hopefully Baker can continue his success with no Evans, Godwin, or McMillan. I mean, it would have really been nice to have at least McMillan playing. But, hamstrings and injuries have been getting the best of us on offense and defense, unfortunately. NC Jolly in the building. I love Yaya Diaby. Like I said, I like a lot of the guys that we have on the team. It's just, bad luck with injuries. I like the coaching staff. I like the OC, Liam Cohen. I like Baker. I feel like Rashad White took a step back a little bit from last year. He started off slow, and then he got a little bit better as the year went on. But, for a guy with his skill set, only getting about 2 to 3 yards per carry is a little underwhelming. Thank God we got Bucky Irving from the Oregon Ducks, to give us that change of pace back. And if I'm really being honest, Bucky Irving should probably be the starter. Rashad White should be the change of pace back, just because, Bucky is, the better running back overall. He's got better vision, better quickness, better agility. He's got a better smell for the end zone. And again, you can sprinkle both of them in, but I think that Bucky is the better running back. He might be a little undersized, and and it's sometimes kind of rare to go with the undersized guys. But I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is undersized compared to David Montgomery, and that's kind of a similar situation. And I'm not saying that Bucky Irving and Rashad White are as good as Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. They have the best duo, on the Detroit Lions, hands down. But there's going to be times where White and Irving can play well and can play similar to like Gibbs and Montgomery, even though they're two different types of backs. One is a power back in Montgomery, and the other one is kind of lightning and giving you that quickness like a Bucky Irving. So we'll see where it goes, but we will probably see a lot of Cade Otton, I would assume, here today. Captain Oreo with a 7. Let's go, baby. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Appreciate you. $7 holla. Baker, and what do you know? First catch, who does it go to? The person I just mentioned, Cade Otton. And don't be surprised if Cade gets in the end zone once or twice today, since we have no Evans, Godwin, or McMillan. Chief in the building, what's good? How are you, bro? Matt in the building, what's good? Sarah in the building, what's good? Odin in the building, what's good? Second down and 1. Let's go, Cade. And again, I've always thought Cade Otton had a pretty fucking good skill set. It's just that, he was like the 5th option. Now he ends up being like the 1st option. So we'll see him a lot tonight. Rashad White, break some tackles, baby. There we go. There's that athleticism that I like. First down, Buccaneers. Let's go. Spags, a great defensive coordinator. This is a trap game for Kansas City, and I think every Chief fan knows that. They're 7-0, but they haven't really been playing fantastic football. They haven't really been blowing teams out, but they've been doing enough to get the wins, and that's what matters. But at some point, they're going to start kicking it into a different gear, you would assume. But we'll see. That really determines a lot with the offense with Pat and that O-line. Bucky, short gain with a little cutback, gain of 2, possibly 3 there. Second down and 7 on the Tampa 29. Cade and Bucky. Yeah, I would. Bucky. You might even get one with Rashad White as well. I don't know how many touchdowns are going to be scored. I would assume Rashad or Bucky, one or the other, will score. Probably Bucky, and unless it goes down to like the 2-yard line and they just power it in with Rashad White. But even in that situation, I think I would prefer Bucky Irving. And I think Cade Otton has a good chance to score once or twice too. Baker. Oh, almost intercepted. Intended receiver, Trey Palmer. Reed was right in the position. What happened to my hands? That should have been a pick there. And I got Kareem Hunt in fantasy, so obviously I need Hunt to play well, and hopefully he puts up a touchdown or 2, gets me 15 to 20 fantasy points. And again, I just got to see if I can buckle down and go on a huge win streak here, make some history in fantasy football. I've never heard of anyone at 2-6 make it to the playoffs, so I'm going to try to do something that's never been done or very rarely been done. Third down and 8, and complete. Batted ball. Great defense by the Chiefs. Karlaftis hitting that hand up. Nice defense there. Nice job, Chiefs D. Chiefs crowd getting into it now. Well, it also is raining too, so that's going to limit some of the production, with the throws. And it's not like Pat has been a great thrower this year, but he'll still attempt, obviously, today, just like Baker. Bouncing it to the outside with blockers. What a return. First down, Chiefs. All right, let me know what I can do for photos for the people that have donated up to this point. So let me know, Reflect, Megan, and Captain. If you don't really necessarily need anything at the moment, we can always wait till halftime or after the stream ends. But if you want something sprinkled in now until halftime, let me know, and I got you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen a type of year like this in fantasy ever. It's been a very unforgiving, and it's been a very frustrating year, for a lot of us, and even for the people that are at the very, very top. It's been frustrating because again, it's just right when you feel that you got kind of things on a hold and a good grasp of things, then you get an injury to one of your stars, and then another injury, and then another guy gets like a sprained ankle, or a guy goes on IR, and you're going to have to be able to hit the wire and try to find this other pieces that might be able to help. Or if you get someone that dumps a piece, sometimes you end up grabbing a piece that someone else thinks that's garbage, and then they end up breaking out and starting to play a little bit better. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe Tillman will be the X factor for me. The Browns are going to be down in every game, and Tillman has been putting up number one stats in the last 3 weeks: 18, 29, and 20. So if I can get 12 targets, 9 targets, 11 targets, and I can have that the rest of the year with Jameis Winston going to Tillman, yeah, the Browns are going to be terrible. But if I can get 20 points out of my wide receiver too, that's going to be a huge advantage against everybody else in the league. So hopefully that success will continue after the bye. All right, I got you, Oreo. And I think Cade would have gotten more recognition of being like a top 10, top 12 tight end if he got the ball a little bit more. But when you got Evans and Godwin, there's not a whole lot available, and Bucky Irving and whatnot. So McCall Hardman going into to get some X-rays possibly. See if I can get squeezing one more here for you. Appreciate you, Captain. Mahomes. There we go. 8.5 yards there. DeAndre Hopkins. Second down and 2. Yeah, trade deadline tomorrow. So obviously, we would assume that the Lions will try to get a defensive player. Whether they end up making that trade with the Browns for Za'Darius or not. Nice catch, D Hop. First down, Chiefs. Tackled by Antoine Winfield Jr. there. But there'll be a few teams looking for a wide receiver. Even though a lot of them are going to be a little injury prone, that it will be available. And then obviously the main one after Dennis Allen finally got fired because the Saints lost to the Panthers, and that's really what it took, to lose to one of the worst teams in football, even though they are one of the worst teams themselves at this point. At least Saints fans can be happy Allen is gone, but they might try to, see if they can move Lattimore possibly. And obviously one of the top 3 teams that's available and looking for a player like that is the Kansas City Chiefs. So if Lattimore ends up on the Chiefs, that could be a huge advantage for their defense going on this obviously Super Bowl run again. So I'll take a look here in just a second. I mean, we got gold gloves out of Cal Raleigh and Demo, and I know that they've made some movement obviously with guys getting healthy. Mahomes scrambling, gambling. First down, Chiefs. Haniger exercises the player option. I mean, there's quite a few guys. I know if So bypass the opportunity to opt out of the final year. He returns on a $15.5 million salary, which is, I don't know. I really wouldn't mind if he was gone, but I think Polo's gone and there'll be a few others, but it is what it is. I don't really know how happy Mariner fans are. It's like Haniger isn't really that good, Nice tackle. I mean, he's a utility player and a role player, kind of past his prime. He had his moments after being terrible at the beginning of the year and definitely helped us win games, halfway through and towards the end. But I don't think he's worth fucking $15 million. Jesus Christ. But I guess that's how it goes, I mean, obviously the Mariner front office isn't the brightest. So Daniel in the building, what's good? Yeah. And I guess if it was between Polo and Haniger, give me Haniger. So even though Polo started to hit a little bit better late. There we go. Levante David with the tackle on DeAndre Hopkins. Third down. Yeah. And obviously, if you guys make the move for Lattimore for the Chiefs Kingdom and then Za'Darius goes to the Lions, that could be a little foreshadowing, where we might end up seeing the Chiefs and the Lions in the Super Bowl, even with no Aiden Hutchinson. Very possible. Third down and long. Little screen pass. Short game. Samaje Perine. Levante David playing some good defense, keeping us in this game. The Tampa Bay Bucs defense. What you think, Odin? Just because we're 4-4, it doesn't mean that we're a dog shit team. What did you guys think? You guys thought you were going to win the game 50-0? Come on, man. I mean, shit, if we didn't have Evans and Godwin get hurt, we probably would have been able to make a run at that NFC championship this year. We would have made the playoffs. We would have won the NFC South, But again, when you lose your two Hall of Fame receivers, everything changes. Rutger, kick is up, and it's good. I mean, we got good players. I mean, obviously a 4-4 record is nothing to get excited about, but it's like you got Vita Vea, right? You got Levante David, you got Antoine Winfield Jr. out there, so we actually got some horses out there and some bosses out there. Now do we have every single position, kind of filled to our maybe satisfaction? No, but again, that's going to be our strong suit. We're not the fucking Carolina Panthers. We're not the Saints. Come on, man. 3-0 Chiefs. Hey, I just got to be honest, Hey, but you did beat the Saints, right? I didn't say anything that was a lie, right? You ended up beating the Saints, and then they ended up firing their coach. So you actually did the NFC South a favor. So thank you. You guys, got the win, and they did something that they should have been done a couple years ago. Firing Dennis Allen and obviously getting rid of him isn't going to solve all the problems. You got a lot of problems over there in Nolans. So. And hopefully the NFC South will slowly but surely progressively get better, but we obviously know the Panthers and the Saints are not good. The Bucs are 500 and we're going to be below 500 pretty soon. And the Falcons are going to end up winning the NFC South by default just because everyone else is shitty or hurt. So, $3 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $3 holla. I mean, we still have enough weapons, on offense to be somewhat, I guess, watchable, but really the strong suit is going to be our defense. No Godwin, no Evans, no McMillan. I mean, I don't know how many teams that could miss their starting three wide receivers, 1, 2, and 3, and still win games. Probably none, There's not very many teams that could have 3 wide receivers out and still win. Pretty hard, especially if you end up having Hall of Fame receivers, which most teams do not. I'm one of the only teams that actually has 2 guys that are going to make the Hall of Fame, then Godwin and Evans. So, and then you lose that, how are you supposed to compete? And the answer is you don't. All right, come on, Tampa, let's go. Oh, it's all good. I know people got Chiefs defense and fantasy and whatnot. I got Kareem Hunt. So, I mean, yeah, I don't expect to win this game, and I want Kareem Hunt to get in the end zone once or twice and get me 10 to 20 points. I just want the game to be competitive. I've already come to terms that it's going to take a miracle for me to make the playoffs in fantasy, and it's going to take a miracle to make a wild card this year, considering with the losses that we have on this roster. So, but you never know. Crazy shit has happened. But also, too, you got to understand that our offensive line is good. You're not playing one of the dog shit teams that has a shitty O line and a shitty quarterback. So, again, we know the Chiefs D typically is top 3 or top 5. But again, you normally aren't going to be going against a quarterback as capable as Baker, let alone an offensive line that actually is kind of good. Again, some of the opponents that you guys have played haven't had a good offensive line or a good quarterback. So obviously, shitty quarterbacks, shitty O line, Chiefs defense put up a lot of points. But if you got a good quarterback and a pretty good offensive line, you could still put up the points, but you're going to have to earn it. 3-0 Chiefs. Man in motion, shotgun set. Baker. Oh, big hit. Third down. And again, we're going to have to get the running game to open up the passing game, and that's not going to be an easy thing to do with Rashad White and Buck Irving. So look at that, haven't allowed a 60 rushing yards to a running back all season, and they probably won't do it here, obviously, on this Monday night. Yeah, it's not like you guys have been getting a bunch of interceptions this year. I've been following the Chief defense in fantasy and their numbers. Not as dominant in last year or the year before, but still really, really good. Baker, 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. But there's a flag on the play. Let's see what happened here with Carl Laftis, if it ended up being on Kansas City or on Tampa. Yeah, run defense is phenomenal. Just got to get some more interceptions. Holding. Ooh, defense. We'll take that. Thank you. Automatic. First down. Well, there's holding on every fucking play. Let's be honest. It just depends on what they want to call. Rashad White, short gain up the gut. I don't know what they think that they're going to be able to do against this Chiefs' amazing run defense. And you're not going to be able to run halfback dive. This isn't Madden on rookie level, and you're playing against like an 8-year-old. You got to be able to open up the playbook a little bit. And even if that means like reverses, jet sweeps, screens, you're going to want to have it bounce to the outside instead of just going right up the gut. Running halfback dives and counters isn't going to get it done. Maybe they didn't get the memo. End of the first quarter, 3-0 Chiefs. I'll get a couple more photos up. Let me know what you guys want for the people that have donated so far. 3-0 Kansas City. Fantastic piece. A lot of teams in the NFL wish they had one of these. And obviously, with no Aaron Donald in the league anymore, probably the most coveted, piece on the D line in the NFL right now. I'm not sure if there's anyone else that I would want more than him. Fantastic player. And you wouldn't be shocked if something happens, obviously, with him before the game ends. He is a game wrecker. We're at 25-75 to go. Yeah, but I would love to see Chiefs Lions in the Super Bowl if we were to get that. That would be an amazing Super Bowl. I think they ran out of time there. You got to snap that ball a little quicker. Wish was Snead was still on the team. McDuffie was all over him, and then Shepard grabbed him back. But Baker, second down and 12. Otton, baby, there we go. Somebody's got to be productive for us. There we go, baby. Nice job, Cade. And again, I always thought you were a top 10, top 12 tight end, but you just were like the fifth option on the team. But now with all the injuries to the wide receivers, now you become the first option. And I actually kind of wish I still had him in fantasy. Whoever's got Cade Otton in fantasy, I assume that you're going to be able to get some good quality points out of him for the rest of the season until at least Mike Evans comes back. Third down at 1. Let's go, Tampa. Man in motion. Little jet sweep. They got the message. Let's go. Let's go. First down, Bucks. I had to give Liam Cohen, I had to give him a little text message. Jet sweeps, reverses, screens. You're not going to be able to beat the Chiefs by just running halfback dives and counters. You have to be creative. And that was exactly the play call that we needed to be able to get a big first down. First down, Bucks. Move the chains. Going from one college teammate to another. They both played at Oklahoma, so they're very familiar with each other. Sterling Shepard, nice play. Good execution. Thank God they didn't fumble that, obviously, on that exchange. And in motion, play action fake. Baker, little screen. Bucky Irving, sidesteps one, sidesteps another, but can't get away from the fourth Chief. Good tackle there by Kansas City. Got to hang on to that football with a little bit more protection. Bucky is a little bit too loose with it. He likes to kind of do the Shady McCoy thing where he just kind of carries the ball in one hand and it's all over the place. You got to make sure you wrap that up. And Bucky has had a few fumbling problems earlier in the year. Bucky, look at this little misdirection play. I like it. First down, Bucks. There we go. Man, Ducks and Huskies having a big impact here. I love it. I just want to compete. If we're going to lose, I don't want to get blown out. I just want us to be able to fight. And again, it's not like more than likely we're going to win the South now with all these injuries. But if somehow, some way we were to upset the Chiefs, or even if we lose this game, but then follow it up with a couple wins and we can kind of hang around, you never know what could possibly happen with the rest of the NFC with injuries and how teams are playing. Man in motion, Baker, there's Cade. Good tackle on the knees on Cade Otton, and that's exactly where you want to tackle him at. Great tackle by Cook. Come on, Liam. 2nd down and 8. And it's a much better play caller than Canales was, the head coach of the Panthers now. We got rid of him and ended up getting a better play caller overall, and it's made a huge difference this year. 2nd down and 8. We're in field goal range now. Can we get it in for a touchdown? Shotgun set. They bring the blitz. Bucky is there, but a nice wrap-up form tackle by the Kansas City Chiefs. Reed has been flying around here today. I mean, as soon as that play was snapped, he read that immediately and was already running downhill to make that play. Great job. Love me some defense, even if it's against me. 3rd down and 9. Open up this playbook, Liam. You have to be creative, especially with no Evans, Godwin, and McMillan. Baker, they bring the blitz. 1-on-1. First down, Buccaneers. Sterling Shepard from Baker Mayfield. Move the chains. We're getting a touchdown, baby. We're getting a touchdown, baby. I mean, this might be the only touchdown that we get today, but we're getting one. I don't know how many we'll get. I mean, I would love to get 3 today, but that might be a little too much. Kansas City's defense is the real deal. And I actually like it that we're on the road right now, not at home. We play better on the road. More focus, us against you, us against everyone. Feel like if we were at home, it would be a little lackadaisical. Rashad White, a little hezzy. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Rashad White, bang, let's go. Kristen Wirfs. Fuck yeah, let's go. Nice job, Rashad. And remember, Reflect, I had Kansas City Chief defense, and I let them go. And I was either going to start them or Washington, but I figured Washington would be able to handle Daniel Jones. But since that was a divisional matchup, they didn't do as good as I thought they were going to do. And we'll find out if the Chiefs can get you some points here today. Extra point is up, and it's good. Let's go, baby. You got to open up the playbook. I mean, I know my team. I've been watching this team for, many, many, many years. Maybe not as long as like the Mariners or the Blazers or the Ducks. This was the last team that I selected to be my own. But even before 1995, I was watching pretty frequently before I decided to make them like, this is going to be my team. I didn't want to be, a 49er bandwagon. Someone with Joe Montana winning 4 championships in the 80s and Steve Young winning in 94. I wanted to be able to pick a team that I had a connection with. And now if the Niners and the Seahawks had better defensive players around 94, 95, I probably would be a Seahawk or a Niner fan at this point. But, Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott, that is who I am. That is my personality. And way to open up the playbook on that drive. You can't run halfback dives and counters against one of the best run defenses in football, if not the best, headed by Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. And they opened it up, little jet sweeps, little reverses, kind of opening up a little bit with, the limited weapons that we have. And we ended up getting the tutty. 7-3 Chiefs. And you got to remember, this is a trap game for Kansas City. Yes, they're 7-0, right? And I think a lot of Chiefs fans think this game's going to be easy and they're going to win by a lot. But again, they're the team that this is the trap game where if you play, at any point you give up, an interception or a fumble or, a big special teams play, that could be the difference, especially if Tampa is playing focus like this. And I'm not saying that we're going to win this game, but I'm really happy that we're at least punching back. You punched us and we punched back. And again, for a team that's 4-4 that most likely won't make the playoffs, at least Baker Mayfield is still making this team fun to watch, with Vita Vea, Levante David, and Antoine Winfield Jr., and as well as guys up front like Graham Barton and my guy, Tristan Wirfs. 7-3 Tampa. Yeah, but it would have been a much more difficult of a game if I had Evans and Godwin and McMillan. I don't know how many teams could have their top 3 receivers not playing and still win. Not many. So, especially good receivers. It's not like I have scrubs at wide receiver. We're Hall of Famers, and then a rookie. So, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully the Chiefs will be able to respond on their end. I need some Kareem Hunt points, baby. There you go. Smart man. Smart man. Yeah. And speaking of O-line, I was reading a report on your guys' Hawks on how limited amount of time that you guys have. And you get all these people saying trade DK, Geno stinks, and all this and that, right? But again, if Geno's got 0.5 seconds to make a fucking read, how do you expect him to be able to make the proper throw, the proper decision? Most teams have about 2.5 seconds, and they can make their, make their read and go through their progressions. Geno's had like 0.5. He can't make a whole lot of plays. And think about how many plays he has made with 0.5 seconds. It'll dump down to Kelsey. Like, JSN had his career game, but it's like, I feel that certain football fans understand why things aren't going well, and others are really fucking stupid, and they just really don't get it. They just think it's only the quarterback, only the coach, only the coordinator, only the receivers and the tight ends, and they totally forget that, the game is run by the offensive line and defensive line. Real football fans know that. And hopefully you guys will be able to get a little bit more protection, and that'll lead to some more dubs for you guys. But pretty alarming with the amount of time that Geno has had. He's still been able to make plays, but also he's made some bad mistakes as well because of the lack of time on that offensive line. And once that offensive line and defense get better, then you'll have a more consistent team. So first down and 10, Chiefs. Shotgun set, Mahomes. Come on, Kareem. I need some fantasy points, baby. And then we'll probably get Pacheco back in about a month and a week or so. I mean, they'll evaluate at that particular time. And then if the Chiefs end up having Kareem Hunt as the RB2, Samaje Perine as the 3, and then they got Pacheco healthy at the 1, I don't really know who's going to be able to keep up besides maybe going back and forth with the Ravens, but I don't really know how many AFC teams are going to be able to hang with Pacheco, Hunt, and Perine, and you have to assume Mahomes will get better as the year goes on. You assume. Uh-oh. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Uh-oh, we got a Buccaneer down. Fuck. Jesus. Yaya Diaby, I love him. And of course, it has to be one of my favorite players that gets hurt. It's never like one of the backups or a fucking scrub or like a third string guy. Of course, it has to be always like the main guys. I already had to play, a month and a half without Antoine Winfield Jr., and we were luckily able to somewhat survive. We're 4-4 right now, but it shows you how important your superstar players are, especially on defense. If you don't have a Vita Vea or a Levante David or Antoine Winfield Jr., good night. And even if you do have those guys playing, you need them to be playing at a high level, and then you need the rest of the guys to match their effort. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. So 7-3 Buccaneers. Yeah, the only thing I think concerning for me with the Chiefs is Mahomes. I feel like, once we get deeper into the season, defense wins games, defense wins championships. The Ravens don't have a defense anymore, right? But they're going to outscore you or try to. And the one team that they might not be able to do that, or it'll be more even, is maybe Kansas City. So instead of Henry, running in for 150, 200 yards, maybe you hold him to 90 to 100 and maybe one score instead of like 130 and 3 scores. And if you can end up doing something like that, or even holding him to 70 yards and a touchdown, something like that, that could really be a big difference. And we know Zay Flowers as a true number 1 receiver. the best receiver that Lamar has ever had. He is amazing. Derrick Henry, best running back in the NFL this year. Amazing. Lamar, the MVP this year. Amazing. But at the end of the day, what we know is Lamar is very, very good in the regular season. But for whatever reason, when it comes to the playoffs, he disappears. Will this be the year that they can play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, or will they match up with the Chiefs prior to the AFC Championship game and have success? We don't really know. And again, this is a different type of team, obviously, with the Ravens, and normally they're known for running the football and having great D. I've never seen a Raven team without a good defense, but here we are in 2024. But it'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. Big facts. I think if Evans and Godwin never got hurt, Baker would have been a top 5 voter in MVP, because I think that we would have ended up winning the NFC South. We would have won 10 to 12 games, and we would have legitimately had a chance to make it to the NFC Championship game this year. I truly believe that, if the defense and offense were able to stay healthy. But unfortunately, we did not, and we might not see Chris Godwin in a Buck uniform ever again. He might end up going to another team. I hope not. I would love to have him back. But that's what happens with injuries. You think that you might end up winning the NFC South. You might win 10 to 12 games. You might overachieve and maybe make an NFC Championship game. And if you get incredibly lucky, maybe overachieve and make a Super Bowl this year, next year, the following year. But those dreams got dashed when the injuries happened. First down and 10 for Mahomes. Shotgun set. And we've never seen Mahomes play this bad either. And again, you could say, well, they only got a true number one receiver with now Rashad Rice being out, but he was having those problems when even Rice was there. So, it seems like holding on to the football a little bit too long. The arm strength has gone down a little bit. The decision-making hasn't been as sharp. Offensive line play hasn't been as good in years past. So there's a number of factors. It's not just only on Patrick Mahomes. It's on the offensive line, the play calling, and obviously some of the receivers that they have, but they don't have as many drops as they did before, because you don't have, obviously, Kadarius Toney on the team anymore, thank God. Good defense there by my boy, Levante David. Hall of Famer, baby. Let's go, baby. Third down and 8. And DeAndre Hopkins is going to help, but it's not like D-Hop is still in his prime. He's at the end of his career. So he can still be a guy that can get you a few touchdowns in the regular season and can be an impact guy in the playoffs, but he's not going to necessarily change the game by himself. He's not that good at this point in his career. Can he still end up scoring a touchdown and getting 100 yards? Yes, but you're not going to get that every game, especially with Mahomes and his touchdown to interception ratio this year. Mahomes? Floater? Wow. How did D-Hop get that? That should have been intercepted. Wow. D-Hop has got some of the best hands in the NFL, and he may not be the same player he was in his prime, but he was able to come down with that football. That was beautiful. You bailed Mahomes out because that should have been a pick. First down, Chiefs. That was a hell of a catch. Like Antoine Winfield Jr. normally was in position, but was a little bit backpedaling and didn't really put his hands up. Normally he does, but that was just a good throw, good catch. Nice job. First down, Chiefs. Handoff. I need Kareem Hunt for a tutty. Give me some fantasy points, baby. I'll give it to him again. I feel it. Kareem Hunt with a touchdown. You feel it? You feel it? I need fantasy points. Okay? All right. Kareem Hunt's getting the tutty. Let's go. Let's go. Hunt's awesome, and that was your guys' saving grace. Bringing back a player that you guys kicked off the team years ago, rightfully so, and then you guys like to be able to give people a second chance, and you guys have been very lucky that you got pretty much identical production, maybe slightly lower with Kareem, but not much. He's still been able to get in the end zone at least once or twice almost every game. So, and it also has been able to get, 80, 90, 100 yards. So essentially, you haven't really missed a whole lot with Pacheco being out. Kareem Hunt has put up almost identical stats. And normally, when your top running back goes out, if you have a top 5 or top 10, that's not the case. Usually, there's a huge drop off with talent and production. 3rd and goal. Shotgun set. Touchdown, DeAndre Hopkins. There you go. Nice job, D-Hop. And that's a big reason why they brought him in. Because again, you're not going to be able to rely on Juju or McCole Hardman, and some of these other guys that they have. Again, everyone is capable of making plays, but again, Mahomes isn't as good as he normally is. So you're going to have to be able to kind of pick and choose your favorites on who you trust the most. And a good connection there by Mahomes to DeAndre Hopkins. I got to wait for my Kareem Hunt touchdown maybe here in the second half. Extra point is up, and it's good. Nice job by the Chiefs. Hi, baby. Want to lay down? Lay down over here. We're at 25:75 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Nice job, Chiefs. There's a little D-Hop. Lay down over here. Come here. Paisley. 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 Over here. Lay down over here. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're only 6 away from 20. Now we got a couple more. Thank you. Now we're only 4 more away from 20. Let's get there. 4 more to get to 20. Let's try to get to 30 if we can. Let's go, baby. Nice job, D-Hop. Great job. Prayers up to your bro. Hopefully everything is working out smoothly since the surgery and whatnot. 10-7 Chiefs. We got ourselves a little bit of a slugfest here. Got to return it now. Come on now. There we go. Got to get the ball to our guy, Cade Otton. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Bake. Let's go, baby. LFB, let's fucking bake. Let's be competitive. Let's not give up. Hand off to Bucky. There we go. Right up the gut. And Bucky is a perfect piece to add to an offense. We're not normally known for Oregon players, even though LeGarrette Blount played briefly on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So it's like every once in a while we'll end up having an Oregon Duck on the Tampa Bay Bucks, but normally Huskies are more prevalent. But I'm really happy that we have him, and he's such a good option. And at some point, he should end up being the starter. He just has to make sure he doesn't fumble, because that's really going to be the only thing that keeps him in RB2 status and RB2 land instead of being RB1. But he's the more dangerous back. 2nd down and 7. Little play action. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Carl Laftis is everywhere, baby. Yeah, Cade Otton just got fucking pancaked by Carl Laftis. Third down and 10. Come on, Baker. Shotgun set. Chris Jones. Rashad White. You see that run right there? This is why Rashad White pisses me off, is that when he runs like Alvin Kamara, but he's not as talented as Alvin Kamara. When he runs the football, it looks like he's jogging, like he's just kind of like taking it easy, and he does a little hezzy steps, but he's not running hard to the hole and trying to be able to run over guys. It's like he's almost trying to avoid contact, and he's kind of just jogging out there. It doesn't really feel like he's giving 100% effort, even if he might be. Like the running style is fucking lazy, and I don't like it. And that's why I'm more of a Bucky Irving guy than a Rashad White guy. I drafted Rashad White in fantasy, and I fucking cut him after a month. And again, it's hard for me to cut a player from my own team that I drafted in fantasy. But sometimes you have to make a tough decision like that, and you have to improve your team. And again, he's not going to be like that all the time. But Bucky Irving isn't like that. Now Bucky might dance a little bit, shifty left to right, with the agility and whatnot, but he's usually trying to go downhill. With Rashad White, it's like, man, why are you jogging? Like Alvin Kamara, when he ended up getting like the 5 or 6 touchdowns on Christmas, where you can kind of jog and he can like juke defenders, and it looks like he's not even trying, even though he is. And it works for Alvin Kamara, but the difference is Rashad White isn't fucking Alvin Kamara, and he's not even close to being that type of athlete. So hopefully, the aggressiveness will change, but I see a player that is almost like afraid to get hurt, afraid to get tackled. It's like I need my running back to be like Mike Allstott or Warwick Dunn. I need you to fucking run over somebody, run over a mofo. Don't just run to the sideline and jog over there. Come on, my guy. Whoa, Rashad White. Golly, Bucky should be the starter. And again, there's a big reason why they drafted Bucky is because they were not happy overall with Rashad White. They feel that he's got talent to be a guy to get 4 or 5 yards a carry, but he just doesn't see the field very well. His vision is not very good compared to Bucky. And again, he normally is going to be around 2 yards per carry or 3 in NFL standards. That's fucking terrible. So I still appreciate what Rashad White will bring to the team, but I definitely wouldn't mind if they started giving Bucky a little bit more opportunities to be able to shine. But, for now, that's what we got. And obviously with no Evans, Godwin, and Jalen McMillan today, we don't really have a lot of choices. Beggars can't be choosers. We just have to be able to take what we can get, I guess, right? 10-7, Chiefs. But one thing that I am really proud about with the team, we have really intelligent people drafting, and we don't really fuck up in the draft. And I know there's a lot of teams that fuck up in the draft year in and year out. And, with what we have in the building, we've been able to hit on many, many, many drafts, and that's one thing that I am very grateful for. And now if only the Mariners and some of my other favorite teams could do the same and actually have good people in the front office, then maybe we could be cooking. Bucks with the punt. All right, Kansas City, your turn. We're at 25:75 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help your boy out. We need 4 more likes to get to 20. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Now we're at 17, 3 more to go to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. Shout out to all the new subs that we've been getting within the last few days, about 20 plus. Shout out to them, whether they're in the room now or periodically hop in and check out what we got going on. And we have a 10-7 competitive matchup here on Monday Night Football. A little bit lower scoring in this game as well as last night's game on Sunday night. Shotgun set. Mahomes. Little flip. P-Ryan. First down, Chiefs. And P-Ryan is very capable as a RB3. When he ended up, pairing up with Joe Mixon and the Bengals when they went on their Super Bowl run, he was phenomenal. Shotgun set. Mahomes. Floater. Sideline. Worthy catches it, but out of bounds. Well, I think regardless of records, these are two teams that are fun to watch. Now, it would be a hell of a lot funner for me if I had Evans and Godwin and McMillan out there. Then I would actually have a chance to beat you guys. I'm not saying that I don't today, but the chance of us being able to beat you today if I had my receivers would be much higher. It would probably be a 50-50 game at that point. It would be a trap game for you guys, and the way that Baker has been playing this year, I could definitely see us winning. But Mahomes throwing to no one, incomplete. Third down and 10. Look like a false start on the Chiefs. Mahomes, wide open to Kelsey in that Tampa 2, cover 2, soft zone. First down, Chiefs. And that's what they should do. If you ended up watching the Falcon game, Kyle Pitts ended up getting 2 tutties. And, again, if you already know that that's a weakness, you need to attack it. And it's good that they're, getting D-Hop involved as well. But this would be a game where Kelsey could score once or twice if you give him enough opportunities there. And right there in between the zone, between 3 defenders, nice, perfect place football by Mahomes and a great catch there by Kelsey. First down, Chiefs. It's kind of weird to have Mahomes with like 9 touchdowns and 9 picks. Kind of makes you wonder if that's going to haunt him later in the playoffs. And again, you might be able to get away with it during the regular season, but not the type of stat line that we're used to from a Patrick Mahomes. And even going back into last year, really wasn't the same player last year either. But then this year is worse. But hopefully he can get a little bit more of a connection with some of his guys. Last year, it was a lot of drops, by Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore and everyone else, right? This year, I think the offensive line hasn't played as well, and he's been kind of forced to throw the football a little bit early, and the decision-making hasn't been as good this year by Mahomes, and he's paid the price for it. But you're still undefeated. So even though the stats for him are not good. The record is, and that's really what matters. You guys are still getting dubs. But I know every Mahomes fantasy owner and every Chief fan is just waiting for that big 3 or 4 touchdown passing game, which we haven't had yet. It's always been like none or 1 or 2 and then a couple picks. Like, when are we going to get that 3 or 4 touchdown game? You feel it's going to happen, whether it's against a shitty defense or shitty team, or if it ends up being against a good team and he's just rolling. But very uncharacteristic for Patrick Mahomes. Shotgun set, first down and 10. Going long, going deep, on cue, and complete. That would have been perfect right there, talking about him going deep, and then all of a sudden that next play, they get a touchdown. He tried it. Passing complete to Justin Watson. And Zion McCollum has actually been a very good secondary corner, for Tampa, but he got burnt on that play. Yeah, but let's be real. You guys have been winning Super Bowls, but 9 touchdowns and 9 picks is not good. We're talking about the guy that's supposed to be on Mount Rushmore, supposed to be there with like Brady and Manning and Montana, right? Like, I don't think they've, this deep in their career had a season like this. Fumble. Thank you. And we got it. We got it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Just because the media is pushing it under the rug and acting like it's not a big deal doesn't mean it's not a big deal. Any quarterback that's got 9 touchdowns and 9 picks, that's not ideal, let alone when you're supposed to be the best quarterback in the world. Like, you expect a little bit more, whether that's him, the offensive line, the OC, whatever you want to be able to put the blame on. Great hit there by Tampa, and that's what we do. Antoine Winfield Jr. and a few others there. Let's scoop that up, baby. Let's go. Let's make this a game. Yes, sir. First down and 10. Let's go, Baker. Let's get a field goal and tie it up. And if a touchdown is there, we'll take it. Shotgun set. Baker. Otton, baby. There we go. Let's go, bake. Keep baking, baby. Yes, sir. Cade Otton. We would be saying the same thing if it like Josh Allen had 9 touchdowns and 9 picks, or Lamar had 9 touchdowns and 9 picks, or Jalen Hurts had 9 touchdowns and 9 picks. It's not like we can just overlook it. A team can be undefeated, right? We saw the Eagles were undefeated and they were like 9-0, 10-0, and then everything hit the wall. Not saying that that's going to happen to the Chiefs, because it won't. Because obviously they have more discipline on defense and they have better players. But again, it's like at some point, in December, you're going to need to have a couple games of Mahomes with, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdown passes to get into that rhythm into the Super Bowl and obviously into the playoffs. I just don't know if you're going to be able to go all the way with him only getting like 1 touchdown pass a game. I don't know how long you're going to be able to sustain that before a team upsets you. Like, like a Baltimore Raven type of team, where if it ends up being just, each team scores, and they try to outscore you, and then maybe this is the year they do, Not saying that they will, but it's possible. Nice little toe drag swag there. Let's go. Shepard, the college teammate. Nice job, Sterling. 3rd and 6. Five wide, trips left. Empty backfield. Shotgun set. Baker, and he runs it. Design run. Let's go. First down, Buccaneers. Move the chains. Great play call. Let's go. Flag on the play. They're going to call holding. Fuck. Good call. Good call. Come on, Cody. We obviously like Cody has the draft pick there, but it's a good call. I mean, there's holding on every play, but again, good call. I'll take that. At least the game is competitive, and that's all I wanted. Third down and 14. Nice try, bots. Not today. Third down and 14. Trips left. Shotgun set. Baker. Run, baby, run. Takes a hit. Baker's a tough son of a bitch, man. He does not shy away like Rashad White, just, walking or galloping and trying to avoid contact. Baker will fucking headbutt you. And I love that. And we're going to need our quarterback to give everything that we got with all the losses, at wide receiver. Chris Jones was trying to get a sack lunch there, and Baker did his best. Fourth down and 4. Bucks with the punt. Try to play the field position game. That was a good call. All right. A few seconds left here before halftime. 10-7 Chiefs. It is a defensive battle. Yeah, but also you got to realize with Brady is in a different category. Brady's 3 years with Tampa, 40, 43, and 25. You're at fucking 9-9 with Mahomes. So, Brady, everyone thought Brady was going to end up being Aaron Rodgers. And, what we're seeing from Aaron Rodgers this year, but again, not every quarterback is built the same. Just because someone is 39 or 40 doesn't mean that everyone's going to put up a shit stat line. Got to check your stats, my guy. It may have looked like, Brady wasn't very good in those years with Tampa, but look at the stats. He never had a year like Mahomes is having this year, where he had 9 touchdowns and 9 picks or something of that nature. First down and 10. 25-75 to go. Shotgun set. Bucks bring pressure. Get his ass. There we go, baby. Sit down. 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Our defense is better than you think. Again, everyone sees Tampa and the receivers are out, think it's just going to be an easy win. Again, it shows you like we actually have some big boys on the team still. Our team is pretty good. We're injured. All right, for the people that donated, let me know what you want to do photo wise. If there's anything that you want to see, and I got you. Good first half. Oh, absolutely. The O-line regressed. I mean, there's no way Mahomes would be 9 touchdowns and 9 picks if it didn't. You know, that's just as big of a reason why the team isn't as good, as maybe the previous years, even though they are undefeated right now. But also, you have to give the credit to the players on my team, that actually have skill to be able to get to Mahomes. But it's not like, Tampa's the only team to be able to get pressure on Mahomes. Mahomes has been getting pressured all year, almost in every game. So they just have so many good coaches and quality players. They're so intelligent that they usually find a way to get it done. Come on, Kareem Hunt. I need some points. But at least it's a competitive matchup. A little bit lower scoring than people anticipated, but it's a good game. Could go either way. Kareem Hunt, 1.6 points. Come on, Kareem. Exactly. Now, let's not forget, Tampa's the only team to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in the Mahomes era. So we know defense. We'll see what we get here in the second half out of Patrick Mahomes, as well as Baker Mayfield. But even though Baker doesn't have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, or Jalen McMillan, he's still playing pretty well. Like it shows like how good Baker is, and he should be like one of the MVP candidates, based on how he's been playing. But of course, if we keep losing games, he's not going to be in the consideration anymore. But if you look at his stat line and the numbers that he had, pretty impressive, if you ask me. "21 touchdowns, 9 picks." It's a little bit better than 9 touchdowns, 9 picks, if you ask me. Yeah. He doesn't have time. You can't step up into the pocket. But also too, we know traditionally he's been better, bouncing it to the outside with like bootleg and play action, right? But to be able to get out there, that's the problem. To be able to actually have the time to get out there before you get tackled. So well, we were all winners because you guys ended up getting more and more, obviously, Super Bowl wins. And, I ended up, getting my second. So, we're the only team in the NFL to go twice and win both, just like the Ravens. So I might not get another Super Bowl in my lifetime, but to go twice and to be 2-0, I think I can live and die a happy man with that. Now I just need the Ducks and the Mariners to be able to get me a natty and a World Series pennant, and then I can die a happy man. Yeah, fuck all the politic bullshit. I'm sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of the ads. I'm sick and tired of the bashing that we always get, and every particular political year when we have a new president and whatnot. It's just Incredibly annoying, and I just can't wait for that shit to be over with. 7-1 Lions. Are they the best team in the NFL besides the Kansas City Chiefs? It looks like it. Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things. Waddle's first touchdown of the year to tell you how bad things are going in Miami. Bass with the kick. And good. Ravens. Great in the regular season, choke in the postseason, but could this be the year? They got Derrick Henry now, and Zay Flowers is a true number one receiver. This might be the year the Ravens actually win a playoff game or two. Maybe end up in the AFC Championship game. And it kind of feels like, even though the Chief defense is awesome, that might be the one team that beats them. Like depending on the game plan, where the game is being played, that could be like the one team that might be able to hang with you, even as good as your defense is. I don't know if you guys have an answer for Derrick Henry or Lamar or Zay. And obviously we know that they would have to play like they do in the regular season to win. And most of the time when they play in the postseason, they choke and they're, kind of a shell of themselves. But could this be the year that they actually play a little bit better and give you guys all you can handle? We'll see. Nice throw by Stafford. Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Defense is at the very top statistically. They run the ball well, right? The defense is good, and it shows you. You end up getting a coach that knows what they're doing. You can turn a team around in 1 year, and Harbaugh is doing that. Nice job. Who would have thought that they had to get rid of all their good weapons on offense to be able to succeed? By Keenan Allen, by Mike Williams, by Austin Eckler, and now the team is like drastically better. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction, even though a lot of people thought that the Chargers would be dog shit, at least in the first couple years. But Harbaugh is proving that he is one of the best coaches in the NFL or in college. And give that guy some flowers. Harbaugh is the man. All right, we're getting close to halftime ending here. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20. And then after we get to 20, we're going to try to shoot for 30. And obviously, we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos. We're at 25, 75 to go. 3 more likes to be able to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us out. Help us hit the algorithm and the metrics. And if you're just tuning in, Harrison Butker with a field goal in the first quarter, 3-0 Chiefs. Then Rashad White with a 7-yard rush, 7-3 Tampa. And then Hopkins with a pass from Mahomes. Extra point by Butker is good. And we're sitting at a 10-7 game. Well, I would assume that Lockett won't be on the team next year. Maybe retire, and then maybe let DK go. If that's something that they want to be able to figure out, and obviously the O line is the reason why the losses are happening. If the O line was better, that will equate to more wins. And again, those are the two weaknesses on the team: the O line and the defense. And it's going to take some time to be able to get the right players there to give Gino or whoever the quarterback is at that time down the road enough time to make the plays. But yeah, I mean, again, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends are a little overrated. Having a great O line is really where you need to start on having a good team, O line and D line. Instead of working outside in, you need to work inside out. But only the smart teams that have the right owners and the right personnel understand that. And hopefully the Hawks will get to that point. Yeah, it would just be nice to have Geno have more than 0.5 seconds to fucking throw. And hopefully we get Tez Johnson back with the college football playoff. Supposedly, even with like a fractured collarbone or some kind of a shoulder injury, they're not really going over exactly. He's in a sling. So it's either, because normally if you fracture your collarbone or you separate your shoulder, you're out for a while. But we'll find out if Tez is going to be back or not. But we still got enough options, Evan Stewart and a few others, to be able to step up, but not ideal. But obviously, with the schedule that we have left in the regular season, we can win the games without Tez. We don't really have a really tough one. I mean, we got like Maryland, Wisconsin, and then Washington. So you never know. Washington might give us the hardest battle out of those three teams that are left. But as long as we play like we have earlier in the year, we should be able to get past those three teams. And if we will lose, it will be in the college football playoff. In the college football playoff, the first rankings come out tomorrow. So I'm very excited to be able to see how they have the bracket set up. But hopefully we get Tez to play in the college football playoff. And with that injury that he has, he might be able to make it back. Maybe. We'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, because again, if you have an elite offensive line, you can have average quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end, and they end up being good because they have time to run block and pass block. If you just have elite quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, and running back, but then your O-line stinks, you're only going to be able to do so much. Got to be able to run block, got to be able to pass block, got to be able to give, your quarterback and your running back and wide receiver and tight end time to be able to run their routes and get open. Start of the third quarter, 10-7, Chiefs. Appreciate you, Reflect. $25 holla. Thank you so much for your generosity. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 50 now, 50 to go. Thank you so much. And I'll get you some more photos, whether we go to commercial or at the end of the stream. Thank you so much. I know you don't really care about the photos. You just support me and Paisley to the fullest, and it means a lot. Here we go, Bucky. Here we go, Bucky. Go, go, go. First down, Buccaneers. Go Ducks. There we go, baby. Let's go. Nice job by Bucky Irving, baby. Good shit. Three sack launches, baby. First down and 10. Baker under center. Hand off. Tucker in the game. And that's the power back. A little nice three-headed horse that we have. Megan with a 50. Thank you so much. We're at our first goal. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you guys. Hawks in the building, supporting to the fullest. Appreciate you. We'll see if the Chief fans will follow. Let them know, Bulls. Thank you so much. And let me know what you guys want to do for photos in the chat, and I'll get those as fast as I can once we go to commercial break, or we can wait till later. You let me know. Baker, screen pass to Tucker. Go, Tucker. And this running back room that Tampa has, it kind of reminds me of the Giants, when they had Brandon Jacobs and then they had two others, and they kind of just rotated between the three guys. If you guys remember that, it's quite a few years back. I don't know exactly how many years. Someone may have to look that up. But when they had their three-headed horse back then with Brandon Jacobs and two others, it kind of feels like that. You got the Brandon Jacobs back, which is Tucker. Then you got Rashad White, who's the starter, but doesn't really give you everything that you need. And then you got that amazing change of pace back, RB2 out of Bucky Irving. Bounce it to the outside, baby. Go, Tucker. Horse collar.
And sometimes, if we're being honest, Tucker looks like the best back, if we're actually being honest. He's got a little bit more oomph. When he ends up carrying the football, he's more of a downhill runner. He's more of a bruiser back. And again, it shows. He's aggressive. He's got a lot of physical prowess. He's got a big upper body, big, strong legs. He's kind of built more like a fullback rather than a halfback. And then Rashad White has got a decent frame, but he just kind of runs lazy. And then Bucky Irving gives you those, receptions and gives you that shiftiness that you need, kind of like a Jameer Gibbs as far as shiftiness. And then Montgomery is kind of like Tucker, where you get the bruiser back. So again, by getting Tucker involved here in the third quarter, great game plan by Liam Cohen. I love it. First down and 10. Rashad White, man in motion. Baker. Ooh, big hit. Bounces off. Stiff arm. First down, Buccaneers. We're scoring a touchdown now. Jarrett, let's go. You get a play like that where you get blasted and you don't fumble, you don't end up having a turnover, and you get a positive yardage, we're going to get points on this drive. Only 4 years ago? I think it was longer than that. Brandon Jacobs hasn't been in the league for a minute, bro. Look at you got to look up Brandon Jacobs on Google and look at when he played. I think a little bit longer than that, my guy. Man in motion. Little jet sweep again, baby. Shepard, first down, Bucks. And normally, like in fantasy, it's a killer if you got Rashad White or Bucky Irving. You're like, I need more points. I need more touches. But if we're not talking fantasy and we're just talking about the team, if you are lucky enough to have 3 quality running backs that each do something special and you use all 3, then you're going to end up getting the most out of your team. First down and 10. Cade Otton, man in motion. Baker, pump fake. Floater. He's open. Touchdown. Cade Otton, I told you. Bang! Let's go. I told y'all he was going to score today. There we go. And Liam Cohen is the best offensive coordinator the Bucs have ever had. Let's go. Let's go. We've had Ronnie Kiffin as defensive coordinator, but this is a beautiful man in motion, lining up with obviously, and again, Reed out of position. And normally, if a tight end is on a linebacker, the tight end is going to win every time. But a little bit of a hezzy right there, got caught up, and a perfect dime throw by Baker Mayfield. Extra point is up and good. Way to bring that fucking electricity in this trap game for the Chiefs. Let's go. Even Paisley likes it. Nice job, Cade. Cade Otton fantasy owners rejoice. He's the number 1 option now. Wish I still had him on my fantasy team. Would have been much better than Laporta or Mark Andrews, let me tell you. Nice job. LFB, let's fucking bake. Nice job, Baker. Way to let him know that you're still a top 5 MVP candidate. Let's go. Huskies, baby. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And we'll see what happens. You guys are still probably going to win the game, but I wouldn't be shocked if Cade gets another one. They're going to, obviously, Baker likes to spread it around, and maybe Bucky gets a look, or maybe it's Shepard, that ends up getting a look in the end zone. But if the play is there and Otton is there, that's Baker's guy, And again, it's like Evans and Godwin, were the main. And then McMillan, obviously he's wide receiver 3 from the Huskies, but then was kind of banged up and hasn't really been fully healthy throughout his whole run here in 2024, and now is out again, right? But Otton is starting to show you, that he might not be necessarily, like a top 5 overall talent at tight end, but he can put up top 5 tight end numbers in fantasy, and he is going to be a must start the rest of the season. Even when Mike Evans comes back, if he comes back, because Godwin's out for the year, even if he comes back the last month, right? Otton is still going to be the number 1 or number 2 option, obviously, because they're going to have to kind of see how Mike is looking. So, nice job. I need Kareem Hunt to score. Not getting a whole lot of points there just yet. So, let's get some photos up. Let's go, baby. Bucks making it a good competitive matchup. Get some photos up here for Megan. We'll go through each of y'all. Appreciate you. 14-10 Buccaneers, baby. Let's go. We have a chance. We got the Niners next week. And I'll be able to use Christian McCaffrey for the very first time in fantasy. Let's go. And I got Zini. I got my eyes on a victory. She's got some tough matchups. She's got Bengals versus Ravens. Even though Ravens D isn't normally as good as it traditionally is, could be a little bit of a problem for some of the Bengal players. It's not going to be the same as playing like the Raiders. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, well, Bowles is not getting fired, bro. He's not the reason that we're losing games. We're losing games, because of the injuries. Bowles is good enough to be the head coach for the team. There shouldn't be any talk. It's not like Bowles is like fucking Dennis Allen, who's been terrible for years. Again, is there coaches out there that might be better than Bowles? Yeah, I wouldn't mind having like a Mike Tomlin if they ended up firing him from Pittsburgh. I'd love to have him in Tampa. I think that would be a good fit. He used to be an assistant coach for us back in the day. So I would love to have Tomlin. He would be kind of at the top of my list with like McVay or Kyle Shanahan. But realistically, we're probably not going to have an option at any of those three guys. But we'll see where it goes. 2nd down and 10 with that pass incomplete. Yeah, well, no one's going undefeated. No one goes undefeated in the NFL. It ain't going to happen. Even if Mahomes was at 20 touchdowns and 2 picks right now, you still wouldn't go undefeated. There's always going to be a game script where you end up getting down, or you end up having a bad play by a ref, or it ends up having a special teams or a pick six, something that normally doesn't happen. Nice little punch out there by the Buccaneers, and sometimes when you get down, by even 10 or 13, sometimes it's hard to come back. Especially if you're kind of trading points back and forth. So, and the Chiefs right now are 7-0, but regardless of what happens tonight, I would assume the Chiefs will end up being at least 13-4 by the time that the season ends. Could be a 14-3 season, but 14-3, 13-4, somewhere in there. Yeah, baby, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Mahomes, you got to understand, you're not the same Patrick Mahomes that you were 5 years ago. You're a lot slower, and again, you might have been able to get out of the pocket and run away in years past, but you're not the same player speed-wise. And we got some fast players on our defense that can collapse on you. And I think the Chief fans are starting to realize that here today. No Evans, no Godwin, but our defense is pretty healthy today. Let's go. Trey Palmer, bounce it to the outside. Go. Let's go, baby. Sack lunches. And again, you get sack lunches like that. So again, it's when you're watching the game, and you're watching Mahomes, it's a combination, of the offensive line not doing their job. They're getting dominated. They're not being able to protect. And then also Mahomes is, staying in the pocket too long, hanging on the ball too long. And then when he bounces to the outside, he needs to be able to understand that in years past, he was able to hang on to the ball for 10 seconds, wait for a guy to eventually get open, throw the ball, and that ends up being a touchdown. But this year, he's not able to do that. Even last year, he wasn't really able to do that. So again, when your offensive line is better, you get more time. But again, Mahomes needs to realize, yes, you're a Hall of Famer. Yes, you're going to be on Mount Rushmore, with John Elway and Joe Montana and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. But you got to be able to understand that you have to get rid of the football. Throw it away. Throw it out of bounds. Don't take the sack lunch. Don't throw the interception. Just take the L on your stat line. But I don't know. Seems like the stats maybe mean more to him than that, maybe he's leading on. But again, it's not like his stats are really that good. 9 touchdowns and 9 picks. Like, stop worrying about your stat line and your numbers and just get rid of the fucking football. Again, it's not ideal to throw it out of bounds for an incomplete pass all the time, but better than taking a stack of lunches, right? 14-10 Buccaneers. And I'm just trying to think, like, in the AFC, is there a team that has a defense good enough to be able to make you guys uncomfortable in the playoffs? Like, if you're looking at the AFC, it's like, I think you're going to get kind of some of the more defensive teams maybe in the NFC, but like on the AFC side, a lot of the teams that are good don't really have great defenses, It's like Buffalo, they don't really got a defense. Pittsburgh defense is usually pretty good. Baltimore doesn't really have a defense. Houston, their defense is definitely something that you can exploit, right? Chargers defense is legit, and they should be in the playoffs this year. But I'm not sure if the Charger defense is good enough to, make Mahomes so uncomfortable that the Chargers beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. I highly doubt that. No, Bills defense ain't good. They lost too many starters. First down and 10. Otton again, baby. First down, Bucks. Let's go. What's good? What's good? First down, Buccaneers. That's my boy. Nice job, Baker. Show him that you're a top 5 MVP candidate, even with no Godwin, Evans, and McMillan. Baker has been playing like a top 5 quarterback this year. And even more impressive, being able to play well when you don't got your Hall of Fame receivers to throw to. Very impressed. Handoff, Bucky Irving. Nice cutback. And don't stop going to Tucker. Make sure that you give him plenty of opportunities. Let's go, baby. No, it's not. It wouldn't be a good win. It would be a great win. I mean, you got to be honest. Like, the Buccaneers have been reeling, right? This is a trap game 100% for the Chiefs, right? This would be a great, great victory to actually give us a chance to keep floating around into possibly a wild card conversation. You lose this game, then you're kind of, you're going downhill, and then you got the Niners next week. But if you win this, you might be able to beat the Niners, and then you're cooking at 6-4. And then you might be able to come back and win the division against the Falcons. Good defense there by the Chiefs. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh and then the Chargers. Pittsburgh Steelers and then the Los Angeles Chargers. They probably got the 2 best defenses. But I don't know if I would trust them against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, you can be good in the regular season, but we know that Andy and Mahomes and Kelsey and as long as they have their capable bodies out there, most of the time they'll find a way. False start by the Bucks there. We'll beat the Niners next week. I know. Hopefully McCaffrey goes crazy and scores like 20 or 30 points in fantasy. That would be great for me. So McCaffrey does awesome, scores twice, gets like 100 yards, but the Bucks end up winning by like 3 or something. I'll take that. Third down and long. Shotgun set. Baker, plenty of time. Otton again. Look at that yards after catch, baby. Top 5 tight end in the game. Fuck yeah. God, I wish I had Cade Otton in fantasy. If I would have been able to predict Evans and Godwin would have been out for pretty much the year, how amazing that would have been. And now you got 2 Chiefs down. Uh-oh. Carl Aftis and another. But remember, it's always good to get these losses out of the way early. You don't want to go, undefeated or go like 15-2, and then all of a sudden you end up losing, unexpectedly, in the playoffs and whatnot. You want to make sure that you feel what it feels like to lose. You make the adjustments, or at least try to, and then you move forward. Instead of just winning a bunch of games barely and then getting to the playoffs with like a 15-2 record and then just having like a bad first half and then you're done. And again, we've been able to see the defense overcome, and they've been able to win in multiple ways with Tyreek, without Tyreek, with defense, right? But this year, like I said, the defense is still very, very good, but it seems like, is it as good as last year's? We're going to have to wait and see as we get kind of towards the end of the year, because they're not getting as many interceptions this year. They're doing good with the run defense, but as far as interceptions, not so much, right? And then the offensive line is getting fucking beat up out there. So, again, I'm not sure if there's going to be – now, if the Ravens had Pittsburgh's defense or if the Ravens had the Charger defense, then I would say, maybe this would be the year that you'd be a little bit in trouble. But, again, it seems like – most of the AFC teams, they're only good on one side of the ball, either defense or offense, but not both. There's definitely going to be a strong side there. So, but hopefully for the Chief fans that, you guys can improve that offensive line, as well as, getting some interceptions, because you're going to have to be able to bail Mahomes out. That is facts. Cade Otton, 394. Woo! Great fun fact. Really? Awesome. Well, first off, before you get ahead of yourself, Bucks raise bolts, let's hope that the Chief players are okay. We've already seen way too many injuries in fantasy and in real life. And hopefully these guys are okay. They cannot afford to have defensive guys go down, especially as impact guys like Carl Laftis and company. Let's go Bucks. First down and 10. Shotgun set. Handoff. Hit the hole, baby. There we go. Bucky Irving. Flag on the play. Probably a hold on the offensive line by the Bucks. More than likely. Let's see what the call is. Assume holding or like illegal shift or illegal motion. Something. Personal foul. Tristan Wirfs with the penalty. Wow. That's unusual. Face mask on Wirfs. I mean, Wirfs gets like a penalty a year. Like, very rare that Wirfs ends up getting a penalty. Wow. Come on, Wirfs. Yeah, he didn't have the face mask. He had the pad. Bad call. Boo. Bad call. Bad call. Didn't even got. I was going to say, Wirfs never penalizes, ever. Literally, the guy has like one penalty or two a year, let alone one in a game. Bad call. First and 25 now. Pass to the sideline, incomplete. Chiefs get away with one there. Flag on the play again. Maybe this will be a makeup call. Shep in the building. What's good? Candace in the building. What's good? How are you guys? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get over 20 so we can get to 30 if possible. Makeup call. No foul on the play. Second down. We need 3 more likes to get to 20. 1 more like to get to 20. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed that like button, there's got to be at least 1 more of y'all that's in the room that hasn't done it yet. 1 more to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. Yeah, Wirfs is a smart player. I mean, and I'm not saying that he's not capable of doing a face mask or a hold, but he's just super disciplined. It's just very rare. Bucky, spin move. Another spin move. Bucky doesn't have the backwards hurdle like Saquon does in his repertoire, at least not yet. I imagine there's going to be another running back that may do it, and will probably end up fumbling and getting blasted in the back. But that Saquon, reverse jump hurdle was amazing. It's like you're always going to be able to see something that you've never seen before at some point in the season. Good fit for Saquon on Philly. 3rd down and 18. Baker. Otton again. Let's go, baby. Decent game there by Otton. I know. I was going to say, I'm not sure if you really deserved to win when you didn't even change out Robinson, and then Eckler was there, but I grabbed him and started him. And if you would have grabbed Eckler and started him, you would have won probably easily. But you and Matt kind of dropped the ball. Matt left 2 guys in that were out for the game, and you didn't change out Robinson, so I was a little concerned with that. I mean, I don't want people quitting or not caring about the team, when we're like halfway through the year. It's like, and both of you guys have good records, so that was like a little shocking to me that, I figured you got too busy, but you might end up winning by the skin of your teeth, even with that mistake that you made. Kick is up and good, 17-10, Buccaneers. Yeah, but that is true. You've had your fair share of breaks too. And Shep also had Dak get injured in the game and not complete. And normally when you get injured and you don't complete the game, you lose almost 100% of the time. So not only did Dak get knocked out of the game, you had a 0. And, again, Reflect normally is going to hit on defense and kicker. And, every once in a while, if you stream a defense or kicker and they play like shit, then if the matchup is close, sometimes that is the deciding factor, unfortunately. Yeah. And Myers ended up getting some good points. Now, like I said, if I wasn't trying to make the playoffs, I would have messaged you. But again, I can't help out people, in fantasy like that. That's your own team. I can't be like dad and give you a reminder, knock on your door. Hey, you got a 0 in there. Change it, Yeah. Saquon did. I think I'm going to go on a historic run, though. I'm going to try to be the first 2-6 team to ever make the playoffs, but I have to go 6-0. So some of y'all in the room, I'm playing y'all. But again, Cooper Kupp, Christian McCaffrey, if I can get those guys healthy every single game the rest of the way, I think I will have a chance to compete with you guys. And again, we just got to see how it goes. I got to win this week. I got Zini next week. If I can take her out, then you already know I'm coming. And I think obviously the real big X factor is going to be Tillman on the Browns. That might be a fantasy winner, or a fantasy X factor. If you got a player like that, especially if he's putting up like 20 points a game at wide receiver 2 or flex. So we'll see. I'm coming. I'm 3-6 now. I got a long ways to go. But if I end up getting to 6-6, I think I'm going to have a very good chance to get that last spot. And if I can get 4th place, that would be amazing. But I've never heard of anybody going to the playoffs starting off 2-6. So we'll see. I want to try to give you guys everything I got. 17-10, Tampa. I just want to be able to score big points like all you guys have all year, And again, I've felt the difference with having, Kupp in the lineup already, and now I just need to pair that up with a Christian McCaffrey, and then we're cooking. But hopefully the Bucs can beat the Niners next week, but McCaffrey goes for 102 tutties. Give me 20, 30 points every week. Woo! Saquon, baby. Come on, Kareem. I need some fantasy points. Let's go. Yeah, but obviously the kicker, uncharacteristically doing bad. Kyron didn't get in the end zone for the first time in like 8 or 9 games straight. So yeah, there was a few things that didn't go obviously your way, and it's hard to get everything to go your way all year round in fantasy. Even when I was in first place, second place, third place, pretty much every year, but this year, there would have been times where I started off, like 10-0 or 11-0, but you normally don't go undefeated. Like usually even when I was at the top, the week that I had the most players on a bye, I would lose. And then usually one other loss on top of that. So usually, even if you end up being a first place team, you still end up usually losing once or twice, sometimes 3 times, depending on how good the competition is or if you shit the bed in 1 week. So, but we definitely have a very even top to bottom league, and even the teams at the bottom are going to be contending with the teams at the top. Punt, short game on first down and 10. Yeah, nice to see Captain Oreo scoring some fucking points too. Me, Captain, and Sarah being at the fucking bottom and not really being able to get the most out of our guys. And then it's kind of nice, when you actually get your guys to be able to put some fucking big numbers. That's the reason you drafted them, or the reason why you picked up certain guys on the wire. You didn't pick up guys to shit the bed, right? Hunt, horrible play calling by the Chiefs. What are they doing? You're just playing into the hands of Tampa, running it right up the gut. You're not going to get a lot of yards that route. And again, I think that really the X factor for us is playing on the road, us against everyone. I think if we would have played at home, we would have been a little lackadaisical, and I don't think we would have been as sharp, as it is in a hostile environment like in Kansas City. So that's a part of it too. Defense is keeping us in the game. Get him. Nice. First down, Chiefs. But it does show you that even the teams that are in the middle at the bottom, have some pretty good players still. And it's just a matter of, getting the right lineup, getting a little lucky, and maximizing the amount of points that you can get with that lineup. And also it depends on the matchup. If you're playing like a shitty team, and then you can take advantage. Like Zini going with 3 Bengals, going with Burrow, Jamar Chase, and with Chase Brown on the wire, and playing all 3 and hitting on all 3. That can end up, I did that with the Lions and Montgomery last year. I had Amon-Ra, David Montgomery, and Sam Laporta. You guys remember? And I was raking, and especially if the team is good and they're winning almost every week and they're getting the ball, that's a lot of points out of those 3 guys. And you don't have to really worry about guys failing. You feel pretty comfortable when you got guys like David Montgomery, Amon-Ra, and Sam Laporta last year. Maybe not Sam Laporta this year, but, that's how it goes. Second down. Handoff up the gut. I would like to see them kind of bounce Kareem Hunt to the outside, a jet sweep, a reverse, a flag on the play, but just running him up the gut right into Vita Vea and Antoine Winfield Jr. Like, what do you think you're going to accomplish there? Do you really think that you're going to run over Vita Vea like Warren Sapp? Do you think you're going to get past Levante David on the second level? And then if you get there, do you really think you're going to get past Antoine Winfield Jr.? Like, you got to be a little bit more creative with the play calling here if you're Kansas City. D-Hop walking the bag. Mahomes. There you go. Go, Kareem. There we go. First down, Chiefs. There we go. Yeah, especially with the Dak Prescott issue with CeeDee Lamb. The point totals might go down a little, but Cooper Rush has a connection with them. So I think that even though it looks like it's going to be bad for you in CD, I don't think it will be. I mean, you might not be hitting 30, 40 points with CD, but you should be able to get, I would assume 12 to 20 almost every week, even with Cooper Rush, because, he's not going to be able to go to just anybody. Tolbert, is only going to be so good, and again, if they're going to be a bad team, they're going to have to go to their best player, which is CeeDee Lamb, if he's healthy enough to get out there. And then if you have to replace him for Nico, and then you can decide if you have to go 3 running backs instead of 3 wide receivers, you might have to flip your strategy, based on the health of your players. So it's a flag party. Nice run by Kareem Hunt. I need more of that. Bring that electricity, baby. All right, Hunt, I see you, baby. I'm squeezing a few more photos here for Megan if we can. $17-10 Buccaneers. Good game. I mean, we have a chance. It's a trap game for the Chiefs. I think most of us knew that. But, like I said, it's really going to come down to the O-line and the D-line on who's going to win this game. Hayes down on the sideline there. I'll get a few more once we go to another commercial break. Appreciate you. See if we can get Kareem Hunt in the end zone here. Kareem Hunt show, baby. Let's go. I mean, of course, if the Chiefs are going to win, they need to have Hunt get in the end zone once or twice. Judah in the building. What's good? First down, Chiefs. Nice job, Kareem. But again, you never know what's going to happen in fantasy. Like I said, even the most consistent, amazing player, like Reflect, will have an off day. Just like when I would end up being in first place or second place. You just never know when that off day is going to happen. When you normally have consistency in a spot, and then you just have like the worst game possible. From like a field goal kicker or a defense. And again, if you end up getting 20, 30 points out of your kicker and defense combined, you win 99% of the time. But if you end up combining for like 10 or 15, it could end up being a loss, and those are heartbreaking. McCole Hardman stopped there by Yaya Diaby and Levante David, baby. Much better than yesterday's game. Kareem Hunt with only 6.3, but I mean, at least get me to 10, a bare minimum. But I would like him to get to about 14. But he's going to need to get a tutty with it. Oh man, Christian McCaffrey in fantasy lineups, I can smell it. Let's go. Yeah, you be working, man. You be working. Hopefully they appreciate you. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Love the uniforms. Love the helmets. Throwbacks, baby. Love the hair. $17-10. End of the third quarter. Tampa is up. Who's going to make the big plays here in the fourth quarter? Could it be Chris Jones? Who? Chris Jones. Or will it be someone like D-Hop? Or could it be someone like Patrick Mahomes? We'll find out. But I hope it's Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt fantasy owners need points. All right, great game so far. A defensive battle, but actually with enough offense to make it fun to watch. A little flip pass to Kelsey. Short gain. Third and goal. Yeah, and for you to be able to win against Reflect with no Niner players is pretty. Because you've been riding those fucking spots all year, and that's where a majority of your wins have come from with Brock and Kittle and Niners D, and having them have the bye. That I think you already kind of had a feeling that fuck, okay, I don't get to use my Niners in 3 out of 9 spots, and I'm playing Reflect, I'm screwed. And then you left Robinson in, but I guess the sports gods were shining on you this weekend. But make sure you don't leave any players out because they probably won't be too kind next time around. Mahomes, get him! Touchdown! Samaje Perine. Nice job, Kansas City. And then Mahomes is down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mahomes can't get up. What's going on? Did he flip it over the line of scrimmage? And Mahomes is hurt. Uh-oh. Not a good sign. No contact injury. Uh-oh. That little hiccup right there on his knee. Kind of planted into the turf right here. Look. Something right there in that left knee. Uh-oh. That rain and that little giddy up that he had in his step there. Oh. I mean, it doesn't look like an ACL, MCL, or PCL or anything like that. And obviously, it's an Achilles and it's a non-contact. But uh-oh, not good. Prayers up for Patrick Mahomes. Oh, man. I mean, whether you love the Chiefs or you hate the Chiefs or you love Mahomes or you hate Mahomes, you don't want to see anyone get injured. 23 for 29, 189 yards, 2 tutties. And we're going to see fucking Carson Wentz come into the game. And hopefully it's not season ending, and hopefully it's not going to be anything serious. Prayers up for Mahomes. He's walking a little bit better here on the sideline. So we'll see if he ends up coming back into the game or if he's out the rest of this game. But hopefully it's only like, this game, or it's just like maybe half of the quarter and he comes back. Could have been a hell of a lot worse. Because again, when you end up having a non-contact injury with like an Achilles, you already know that it pops and you're on the ground and your season's over. So for him to be able to walk off on his own power is excellent. Extra point is up and good. We have a good one here. 17 all. Prayers up for Mahomes. I started True Blood over again since that's kind of my go-to, and Walking Dead from the very, very beginning. And then I'm going to wait for The Penguin to end next week, and then I'll end up subscribing to Showtime and Paramount Plus app for like a month, and then I'll binge watch The Penguin in probably like a day or two, and then get that out of the way. But I want to make sure it's completed before I do it. So, and then we also have Yellowstone coming back to Paramount Plus, I think this week or next week. So maybe this Sunday. So there's some really good stuff that's going to be coming up very, very soon on Paramount Plus with Yellowstone in their final season, which is an amazing show. If you guys haven't watched it before, I highly recommend. And then obviously The Penguin, probably the must-see TV show right now if you end up having Showtime or HBO. Dream Hunt 6.3. Let's get some more. And Zini with her big point totals, that might be the biggest threat to reflect besides Shep. She's been able to put up two of the highest scores of the year, and it just really depends on who the Bengals play. So if she makes the playoffs and the Bengals have easy opponents, that could be a tough one for Shep or Reflect or whoever that fourth person is. I'm hoping it's me, but I will have to go on a 6-game win streak here, and that'll be almost impossible, but you never know. But again, she's doing the Cincinnati Bengal trio. And again, if they end up having shitty opponents, that could be the difference. Prayers up for Mahomes. He looks a little bit better on the sideline. We're at 22. 8 more likes to get to 30. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Now we're at 23. 7 more to get to 30. Let's get to 30 before the game ends, if we can. Kneel down. All right, baby. What a good game. This is probably one of the best Monday night games of the year, even though I know a lot of y'all probably thought the Chiefs were going to mop the floor with the Bucs. But, again, our offensive line and our defense is keeping us in the game. So thank you to all the people that said the Chiefs. I appreciate it. First down and 10 for the Bucs. Otton in motion, shotgun set, handoff. Tucker is there. Got to be a little bit stronger, Tucker. Take that initial hit. Short game. Second down and 7 on the Tampa 33. Shit, maybe even more. Once she starts going, I mean, you might have to put up 150, 160, 170. You got to remember, she almost put up 200. And then obviously this big one with Megan, both of them put up 150 plus. It's crazy. If you end up getting 3 or 4 spots, putting up 20 or 30. Baker tipped and complete in the rain. And the rain is really coming down here in the fourth quarter. And again, she has won the championship in our league before. So it's not like she's a novice or an amateur. She's very smart. Now, her bench is a little weak, and she hasn't really touched her bench all year because she's been kind of, relying on her starting 9 to win her games. And so far, it hasn't burnt her. But if she has an injury or two to that starting lineup, she'll fall back. But at this point, she hasn't been hurt by any major injuries. Knock on wood. Baker, 3rd and 7. Run, Baker! And trying to get in the first down, but short by about 1.5 yards. Yeah, but even if you end up having a loss and you score over 140, 150, we'll make sure we acknowledge it here. I'm not going to just, go over it and act like nothing happened. Like, that's a big deal. Oh, almost blocked on that punt attempt. Fair caught. I mean, it's so hard to put up points, this year that, normally, teams are putting up about 120, 125. We're not really getting a lot of people scoring 150 to 200 this year. We definitely got more of that in previous years. It's been a lot harder to be able to, get those big points. Almost blocked. Are we going to get Mahomes out there? Or are they going to go Carson Wentz the rest of the game? And get Kareem Hunt the ball, damn it. Let's get him to at least 14 or 15 fantasy points for all the people that have Kareem Hunt. Which is rare, right? Because normally that's something that you do pretty often, or at least in the years past when we've done the league. It just seems like the injuries and top tier points, and again, and we're also getting people that are, putting up these huge numbers that are like on the wire, and like some guys aren't even rostered, and then they end up going off for like 35 points or something, or you end up having someone that goes off for like 30 or 40 or 50, but maybe they're on your bench. It's like one of those like rando, individuals that just has that monster game, but no one has really the confidence to start that particular player. And every once in a while, you'll get like a career game out of someone like that. So we're at a hundo. Let's get to 2. Looks like Mahomes is going to the locker room. Oh, he's in there. Is he in there? Look at that. Mahomes is back in there. Okay, tough son of a bitch. I like it. As long as he feels like he can go. You don't want to, ruin your Super Bowl chances by him going out there and then like re-aggravating the injury. Okay, Mahomes, flex on him. They're like, we can't have this motherfucker come in the game. We got to beat the Bucs. That's what the Chiefs are saying. All right. Well, give Kareem Hunt the ball then. Mahomes doesn't look like he's very mobile though. Like, I want to be able to see him run a bootlegger play action, and I highly doubt we're going to see him run that the rest of the game. He'll probably make a majority of his throws in the pocket within a couple yards, from the center. But we'll see. Yeah. Yep. Right. 3rd down and 2. P. Ryan's capable. Shotgun set. Mahomes Could have ran for the first down, but decided to throw it to Kelsey, which was smart. First down, Chiefs. Nice job, Mahomes. Nice job, Kelsey. First down, Chiefs. Kareem Hunt. Here we go. Kareem Hunt. Now the only thing the Chiefs have to be a little worried about is Tampa punching out the football with like Antoine Winfield Jr., Levante David, or like Yaya Diaby or one of the others. Because again, in this type of rain kind of situation, the Bucs are going to be looking for the punch out or trying to rip the ball out. Not saying that it'll happen, again, but they definitely are going to be trying to here in the fourth quarter. Second down and 4. Bucs defense pretty stout there. Vita Vea with a bear hug. I can put it on. No one really brought it up, so I think we're just so in tune with the game right now. We're focused, man. Sometimes the background music, it's just there, and sometimes we don't notice it. And depending on, what I'm watching the game on in the studio, we've been locked into this game. Handoff right up the gut by Steele, and I don't think he got it. He says, I need to vibe with it. I got you, man. I turned it on for you. He said, I got a fucking exam, dog. Give me that background music. Mofo, I got you. 17-17 all, less than 10 minutes to go. Running game, dead last. Defensive stars not playing well. Dak overrated and overpaid. Bad coach, bad owner. Hunt, first down, Chiefs on 4th down and 1. That was the correct call. First down, Kansas City. Funny thing is, I didn't notice it was not on either because I'm just so locked into this game, especially when my team is playing or like if the Chiefs are on, it's like I'm locked in, man. It was a matter of time before someone said something. Nice job, Kareem. First down and 10. Screen pass. McCole Hardman. And he drops the ball there at the end. First down, Chiefs. We got the ball out, but it went out of bounds. For real, though. First down and 10. 26 for 32 for Mahomes. Dead play there. Flag on the play. And now, obviously, just like the Chiefs, our run defense is better than our pass defense. It's very clear. Yeah, it's definitely offsides on Tampa. Oh, nice. Offsides on the defense. Always cool when you can get something new Star Wars. On my timeline, I had these 1970 sticker cards that someone posted, and I had to share it with my buddy Justin. Anything Star Wars related, I'm always going to geek out for and whatnot, and pretty cool. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy your new goodies. First down and 5. Man in motion. Mahomes. Hunt runs into 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, including Golston and company. Nice job. Mango cheesecake sounds amazing. Any cheesecake is amazing. I'm a strawberry cheesecake kind of guy. Regular is good too, but I mean, hell, any kind of cheesecake is good. That's my thing. If I'm having a cake, it's cheesecake. Oh, Mahomes with the left-handed throw, incomplete on 2nd down and 5. Now 3rd down and 5. Normally I'm more of a pie guy, where I'm more of like a apple, cherry. I guess if it's, Thanksgiving, I'll do a little pumpkin and whatnot, but pumpkin is definitely not my favorite. But if it's there, I'll eat it, right? Speaking of Thanksgiving, right around the corner, baby. And we will be doing a live stream for Thanksgiving as well as Christmas. I'll just visit family early, and we will do the late game on Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, just like last year and the year before. Mahomes, wide open. Watson is there. 1st down, Chiefs. So if the Chiefs want to win this game, it's very clear. You go into the middle of the field and you throw it to Travis Kelce or one of the tight ends. And if you end up doing that, you can kind of dink and doink your way close, and then eventually Kareem Hunt can get you a touchdown here. Or it could end up going to, any of the other weapons, Watson or whoever. But obviously on this drive right here, if you want to be able to put up a touchdown and not a field goal, utilize the weakness that Tampa has in the passing game. There we go, Kareem. 1st down. Jeez, he said, I need O-Dog to get some fantasy points, baby. Here we go. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. He's like, man, I haven't got O-Dog the points that he needs. Let me get some for him. There we go. But I need you to cap it off with a touchdown. Yeah, and it's not really necessarily beating you, Sarah. I just need him to be able to put up consistent points. So for me, it's not necessarily just, me against you. It's me versus me on trying to be able to make the right decisions in my lineup. I kind of dig a little bit deeper in fantasy. For some people, it's just about the points. But, for me, it's about not only the points, but, what I leave on the bench and how good those players are on the bench and are they hitting. So that way I can feel comfortable moving forward that if I have to put in a guy on the bench, then I have no problem. And so it's I really want every single player that I roster to hit. And everyone did this week except for the Denver Bronco defense, which they played the Ravens. So I didn't assume that they would. I assumed that they would put up negative points this week, and they did. But everyone else hit. So that's exactly what I want to see with McCaffrey coming back next week. Steal, short game. Unfortunately, I'm retiring. Even if I end up making the playoffs, being with a 2-6 record, and I win the championship, even if something crazy like that happened, I'm retiring. And then maybe down the road we'll do it again. But I've already proven everything I need to prove, over the years, doing the fantasy league. But it would really be nice to go out, if not on top, at least make the playoffs. And again, I've never heard of anyone making the playoffs 2-6. So could be a first. Touchdown, Chiefs! D-Hop again. Kareem Hunt, you don't get the fantasy points, but DeAndre Hopkins, he gets it. But the thing is, did anyone actually start D-Hop in fantasy? And I don't think they did. I think a majority of people were too afraid to start D-Hop until they saw a game like this. But by then, it's too late. And then if you put in D-Hop next week, you'll probably end up getting a 5. So, but nice job for the people that did start D-Hop. And touchdown, Kansas City. If I come back and get 4th place and then beat Reflect and then beat Urzini and win the championship with a 2-6 record, you think I would have to come back next year? That would be the most miraculous fantasy comeback ever. Not having Cooper Kupp and McCaffrey all year and then getting them for the last 6 weeks and then trying to dig myself out of a hole. I mean, potentially, if I do go 6-0, I could finish with an 8-6 record. And typically 8-6 can get you 4th place, depending on how the rest of the teams do. Not saying that I'm going to do that, but that's my goal, and I'm 3-6 now. So, but again, if I can get a healthy Cooper Kupp and a healthy McCaffrey the rest of the way, and that can give me 50 to 60 points every week, I will have a chance with the roster that I have obviously built up to this point. I'll still be streaming quarterbacks. I'll still be streaming defenses and whatnot, but as far and I have to stream tight ends too because I can't count on Mark Andrews even though I had Laporta. But I mean, getting fucking 4 or 5 points that we've got a tight end is bullshit. But there's only so many players that are available, and you just don't really know who's going to hit at tight end unless you have George Kittle. Then you feel great, But unfortunately, I don't have George Kittle. So, or if you have Trey McBride or Brock Bowers, you probably feel pretty good. But if you don't have any of those 3 tight ends, it's going to be kind of hit or miss. Even with Travis Kelce, some games he'll put up 10 to 25, and there will be a few games where Kelce puts up 5. But I wish I had a little bit better production, but it is what it is. Yeah, I know. I feel ya. You would just. But what would happen then? If I end up coming back from 2-6, I end up being 8-6. I end up being 4th place. I beat the number 1 team, whether that's you or Reflect, win the championship, and then I would have to come back. I wouldn't be able to retire. I couldn't ride off into the sunset like Grady. Stay safe. Tornado warning. I don't know how you guys do it, the people that live in the Midwest. 24-17, Kansas City. We will have an opportunity to hopefully tie it up and go to overtime, but again, this might be the time where the Chiefs end up getting that tipped interception to like win the game or something of that nature. But horrible coverage on D-Hop right there, and nice awareness by Mahomes. Again, if that was Carson Wentz, that probably doesn't happen. So nice job by D-Hop making his presence known. Anybody got D-Hop in fantasy? What happens if I beat you in the championship, Shep, and I beat you by 0.5? You would lose your goddamn mind. You'd be like, there's no fucking way. 2-6 to 8-6 from 4th place to the championship and then beating you by 0.5 in the championship game. Can you imagine? Who's got D-Hop in our league? And are they starting him? I know, Paisley, I'm not done yet. As you can see, Paisley's head here. Hi, Paisley. Hold on, honey. Baker. Oh, now I'm going to get you some food. Are you hungry? All right, I got to get Paisley food. I'll be right back. Let me know what happens. Oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Baker Mayfield sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Lots of 7. Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. There he is. As soon as I leave the room, then oh boy ends up making a play. Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. Who? Chris Jones. This one might be over. It feels like Kansas City's momentum has taken over the game. It's going to be very difficult for us. If they would have gotten a field goal, I would have liked our chances to match that field goal or possibly, get the go-ahead touchdown. But being down by 7 with the rain and the weather like this, it just doesn't feel like we're going to, come back. But at least we fought hard and played well, up to this point. And sometimes that's all it takes, as a little bit of momentum in the fourth quarter. And it might have not been pretty by Kansas City, and the offensive line got dominated by the Bucs defense, but you guys did enough to be able to get the dub at the right moment, at the right time. Oh, it's on the bench. Yeah, again, you have to see a good game before you start, kind of like the Amari Cooper thing, it's like, but then again, once they have their good game, and you assume they're going to do it again, and then maybe D-Hop gets a 0 or like a 3 next week. Like, you don't really know how they're going to target him. Chances are to go from how many points did D-Hop end up getting? Did he end up getting like 20 points in fantasy? You know? Because the chances of him hitting 15 or 20 next week, probably not that likely. He might still be able to put up like 10 or 12, you know, but... Oh, those are cool. I like the mug. Those are cool. I like the mug a lot. Yeah, this one feels like it's over. But at least we fought. You know, no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Jalen McMillan. I don't really know how many teams could play the Chiefs with their top 3 receivers out, 2 Hall of Fame receivers being at that, and then being able to keep it close and almost win. You know, I'm proud that we didn't get blown out. I knew that we would be competitive. I'm glad that we were on the road. But again, you know, sometimes it's like when you need that clutch Mike Evans catch or a Godwin catch to match what D-Hop has done, we just don't have it. We have Cade Otton, you know, but again, we just haven't been able to get the ball. And the Chief defense finally came to play. Good job. Mahomes. And if I'm going to lose the game, I might as well get some more points out of Kareem Hunt if possible. Can I get some more, please? Kareem Hunt is at a 9. Get me at least a 10 before the game is over. Come on now. Give me one more good run, and then we can call it a day. 9.2. Give me at least 10, and that's still a little bit of a low number for Kareem Hunt. You know, for Kareem, I'm looking more typically like 14 to 17, but I guess if I have to take a 10, that's, you know, it is what it is. And normally when he does get to 14 to 17, he scores a touchdown or 2, so. I mean, really, the only way that we're going to get back into this game is a bugaboo play by Mahomes or the center, or they end up fumbling it, or they throw an interception, or we get a fumble. That's really going to be the only way we come back. Good tackle. Lost on the play by Nelson. How many timeouts do we have? 2 more timeouts left. I guess there is still a chance. One last chance for Baker, but I don't think it'll be enough. Yeah, we're like the Chiefs. We're better at run defense than interceptions. I think we're a little bit better at interceptions than the Chiefs are this year. But again, we get exploited when we run the Tampa 2 or when we run like a zone. You know, so if you got a quarterback that's capable on zipping the football in between 2 or 3 guys like Mahomes is, then he can have a field day. And we didn't really get a chance to get a tipped interception, you know, which is something that we typically can do. But lay down. I love you. I love you. Lay down. 3rd down and 11. Bring the pressure. And he dropped it. Samaje Perine. All right, well, it looks like the Bucs have one last shot to force overtime. Not over yet, but it feels like it. But if it does go to overtime, anything could happen. It could end up being 27-24 Bucs, and we end up scoring 10 straight. They'll get the touchdown and then, go to overtime and, find a way to win. But the NFC South is garbage, Shep. Come on now. You guys are going to win the division by default because everyone's injured or sucks, And I don't know how big of an accomplishment that is. The Panthers are garbage, the Saints are garbage, and the Bucs are garbage. Now, if the Saints and the Bucs were good, then you have something to be happy about. But beating up on shitty teams is, I don't know. I guess if you want to take that as a win, especially when you guys haven't been to the playoffs in a few years. But you guys are going to win the division by default. Now we need you to actually represent the NFC South and not just make the playoffs. You actually have to win a playoff game. You just can't be the Atlanta Falcons with Kirk Cousins, Kirko Chains, and then go in there with 10, 11, 12 wins and then get your ass kicked in the first round of the playoffs. I better not see that. We got to make sure we're representing for the NFC South, and we got 3 shitty teams and 1 decent one. So you better, if you go, you better win. You better not get embarrassed. You better not put shame on our name in the NFC South, my guy. Shame, shame, shame. I better not hear that. No Game of Thrones. First down and 10. Shotgun set. Baker. Little screen. White. Decent game, but a flag on the play. Probably holding on Tampa. Bring it back. Well, shit, if Shep plays one of the NFC West teams, yeah, that might be the only way you do win a game. You end up playing anybody else, you might lose. Commandos, Eagles, Lions, Packers, if they make it. I mean, you're only going to get one team out of the West, but who's it going to be? Up for grabs right now. Baker. Saints fans, they don't even care anymore. They don't even watch their games anymore. Dennis Allen got fired, but they don't even watch anymore. That fan base is so depressed, they don't even watch. So, even if you beat them, they don't care. The team is terrible. Carr is not the right quarterback. They finally got rid of the coach. Everyone's hurt. They could give 2 shits, dude. And again, anyone that's talking shit as a Saints fan isn't really watching the games. They're just doing it to argue with you. Oh, if you're playing the Lions, you're fucked. Period. It's not if you're fucked. You're not beating them. Lions are probably the most likely team to make it to the Super Bowl out of any team in the NFC this year. Even with Hutchinson down. I think you could beat the Niners, though. The Niners are not very strong, bro. They're injured. I mean, if the Rams and Seahawks can get their shit together, with the offensive line and the defenses, they may be able to, obviously leapfrog San Fran. I mean, this San Francisco team is, one of the most beat up teams in the NFL. It doesn't really feel like they're going to do anything, even if they do get McCaffrey back for the last, half of the year. Yeah. I mean, whether you love the Bucs or hate the Bucs, I think one thing is clear. We got our quarterback of the future, and he's grimy, he's gritty, and I wasn't really fully sold on him initially, but based on teammates, interviews, and just who he is, and obviously maturing, having a daughter, has really changed him for the better. And I'm definitely on the LFB, the Baker Mayfield train. So, and again, it's like, it feels good to not have to worry about quarterback, even though I was thinking that we might end up trying to get one in the draft this year. But based on what we've seen Baker do, he clearly is, the man of the city. He is Mr. Tampa Bay, 100%. So, yeah. Interesting to see if the Falcons will be a buyer at the deadline tomorrow. And obviously the big difference for you is Jesse Bates III. Having a defensive stud like that, again, the Bengals haven't been the same since they let him go. And you guys have gotten so much better on that side of the ball with him. And that was kind of your guys' bugaboo. You guys have always been good on offense, but shitty on D. And now the defense is pretty good. Baker. First down, Buccaneers. Let's go, Bake. Let's go, baby. Block for him, baby. Baker avoids a sack lunch. Sideline throw, incomplete. Yeah. And again, even though the Niners have been to many, many Super Bowls, the last time that they won was 94. The Cowboys actually got to a Super Bowl sooner, the last time than them. Cowboys' last Super Bowl win was 95. So, yeah, the Cowboys haven't got to a Super Bowl since then. The Niners have gotten there a few times, but again, if they don't have a guy like a Steve Young or Joe Montana type, I don't think you're going to be able to win it, especially if you're going to be going against a guy like Mahomes or whoever the quarterback is at that time. Maybe their best chance was going against maybe the Ravens last year in Lamar. Maybe you would have won it last year if you would have been able to have that matchup. Really, the main problem with them is injuries. They can't keep Debo and Kittle and Ayuk and the rest of their guys healthy. And that's really what was the killer for the Niners. If they were able to have Debo and Kittle healthy in the Super Bowl, they would have won. But those guys ended up missing too much time, having to go to the locker room and getting shots and getting treatment. And again, that team has got so much athleticism, but you need your best players to play at the end in the most crucial moments, and they couldn't. 3rd down and 1. Play is under review. No, even if Jerry leaves, they're still going to be bad because the Suns are going to inherit the team. It's not like they're going to be able to force the guy to sell it like the Redskins with Daniel Snyder, But it shows you get rid of a shitty owner, right? You get a good coach. You get a quarterback that's capable, Jaden Daniels, and then now you're 7-2, and it's the best record they've had in 30 years. So again, sometimes you got to be able to make those big changes at the top. And then it trickles down to the coaches, the coordinators, and then ultimately the draft picks and the players. I mean, the Commandos are probably going to take the Cowboys spot now moving forward, where it'll be like the Commandos and the Eagles. And then every once in a while, the Cowboys might be able to do something, but, they better pray they get someone like Ashton Genty in the draft, and even that won't help them. That'll help a little, but it won't solve the problems. It'll just help one of the problems out of the many that they have. He's in. Shit is done. Oh, Washington will go to the playoffs. And if we're being honest, they'll probably end up winning the division. And I don't know if they're going to be able to win the division every year, obviously, because normally this is a team that isn't very good. But as long as Jaden Daniels doesn't get hurt, it'll go down to the wire. And it'll probably be down to like 1 win or 2 wins separating 1st and 2nd place. 1 win, one team like Washington might have like, let's say 13-4, and maybe the Eagles are like 12-5 or something like that, or 11-6, something like that. It'll be close. 3rd and 1. Go White. Bounce it to the outside. 1st down, Bucks. Well, good head coach, good quarterback. And obviously going into the draft, we thought, excluding Michael Penix Jr. because he was sitting behind Cousins, we thought Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels were the most NFL ready, even more than Caleb Williams. And it seems like it is true. Caleb is having his moments, but Bo has been more consistent with less weapons around him. Give Bo some better weapons, he'll even play better. 2nd down and 3. Shotgun set. Baker looking for a weapon. Bouncing it to the outside. Get out of bounds. There you go. Get that 1st down. And you know what? I like Washington being in 1st place. I like Washington being 7-2. I love seeing dog shit teams get good. Like when Detroit was bad all those years and they finally got good. I have a lot of sympathy for, teams like Tampa in the past before we got good, where, I don't want dog shit teams to be dog shit forever. I want them to eventually get good. It's exciting. Instead of just having the same teams rotated every year. It's nice to be able to see a good football story. And I love me some Jaden Daniels. That's the Lamar Jackson of the NFC. He's the man. 1st down and 10. Baker. Down to the 1, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And who knows? Maybe one day Jaden Daniels will win an MVP like Lamar. Lamar has already won one. He's going to win another one this year. But Jaden could end up winning an MVP, and that's cool to be able to have a Lamar Jackson in the NFC. I've always wanted one. And it's not a gimmick, type of player like an RG3 or a Kaepernick. A guy that's just going to be running RPOs and read options and eventually getting blasted and then being out of the NFL. Like Jaden Daniels can do it all, like Lamar. They can throw, they can run. They got great vision, good teammates, smart. And they're going to be a really fun to watch. Here we go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. First and goal. Baker. Oh, tried to go to Cade Otton for the second touchdown. Yeah, but at least the Saints ended up firing their coach. 3 years too late, but at least they did it finally. The Panthers' loss was the last straw. It's like if you're going to lose to one of the worst teams in football, that might be it. Second and goal. Baker, he's open. Ryan Miller. I ended up going to school with a Ryan Miller. And then a few years after that, he passed away. Nice job, Ryan. Let's go. Rest in peace. Wide open. Cade Otton fantasy owners are a little shook. Obviously, that would have been big. But here is the overtime. Yeah, we're not going for two. We're not stupid. We're not Chip Kelly. We're not Dan Lanning. We're not dumb. We're going to go for it. Extra point is up and good. 24, baby. My favorite number, like Ken Griffey Jr. and Kobe. Kobe, let's go. Pretty cool. And obviously the Huskies developed some pretty good pros, let me tell you. 27 seconds, and that's enough time for them to get Butker in the field goal range. So, is this one of the best Monday night games of the year? You bet your ass it is. Just imagine if I had Evans and Godwin. Maybe you guys would be fucked, at this point. I mean, if we're able to put up this many points on y'all with nobody to throw to, imagine if we had Evans, Godwin, and McMillan. We probably would have won this game. Great game. One of the best Monday night games. And again, whether you love the Chiefs or hate the Chiefs, love the Bucs, hate the Bucs. They're fun to watch. And at the end of the day, that's all you want. You want two teams that are fun to watch, that have history. And again, it's not many teams that can beat the Chiefs. We're the only team to beat them in the Super Bowl. They still remember that. And even though it's a different quarterback and a different era, we always are going to give our all when we play this team, especially in Kansas City. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Crap, baby. Let's go. John in the building. What's good? Well, of course we want overtime, and because obviously if it's not overtime, that means Butker made the game-winning kick and we lost. First down and 10. Mahomes. Hendershot with the catch. You're getting a bunch of these like jobber, no-name guys coming up with these plays. Hendershot, Ryan Miller. Who? You know what the best way to end this game is if we ended up getting a pick six and we won the game that way. That would be like literally the best way, at least for Bucs fans. That would be the best way to end it. A pick six or a fumble for a touchdown, but the percentages of that happening are almost slim to none. But realistically, Butker kicking at times expires is probably the most realistic expectation and ending result. But if we can find a way for him to miss or block it and just get into overtime, we will have a chance to possibly win. So, but defense has got to play really good here. You can't give them too many yards. Got to get there. Shotgun set, 2nd down and 1. Get him! Get him! Tipped. Oh, shit. Dive! Oh, just missed it. Antoine Winfield Jr., if he just was there. Oh, yeah. A little Kenny Wheaton. But I would want it to be with like Antoine Winfield Jr., though. That's the individual that I would want to have that play. Him or McCollum. 3rd and 1. Mahomes. You speak about Antoine Winfield Jr., and then he ends up making that huge play right there. Almost had another pick. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the best safety in football, period. He's the type of guy that, you could be running in for a touchdown, and he'll punch it out at the 1. And sometimes that'll lead to a touchback, or we'll get the ball back. I don't know if there's any other corner or safety that doesn't give up on plays than Antoine Winfield Jr. The guy is incredible. He's going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. Believe that. 4th and 1. Unbelievable that they didn't get in field goal range. We actually might win this game. Chiefs with the punt. I've never seen effort like that besides maybe like Charles Peanut Tillman, punching footballs out and just never giving up on plays. But, Winfield has prevented many touchdowns in his short career. I haven't seen a player. He even got ripped off on the Kyle Pitts one, where Pitts had 2 touchdowns, but on one of them he punched the ball out, and it should have ended up being a touchback, but they gave him the touchdown. But normally when he ends up making that play, they give it to him, and they end up, it ends up going in, Tampa's favor. But that one play, it didn't go in our favor, and we lost. All right, end of regulation. We're in OT, baby. We win this game 5-4, play the Niners 6-4. I need fantasy points out of Christian McCaffrey, but I'll take a dub against them next week. I'll help the Seahawks fans and the Rams fans and the Cardinal fans. Well, good thing we didn't have this, otherwise Tampa really would have won. Heads. Why didn't you call heads? Idiot! You call heads every single time. You don't call fucking tails. And the last time Baker did that, he did tails also. You fucking dummy. Check your fucking phone. I messaged you. Heads, motherfucker. Anybody that goes tails is a dummy, dude. Like, you don't go fucking tails ever. Heads or tails is going to be heads 75% of the time, even though there's 2 sides of the coin. Come on. Well, it looks like the Chiefs just won unless the defense makes a big play. Golly. You never go tails. You go heads. Know the percentages. You better check his phone next time. Come on, Bake. Tails, and you didn't get it last time, and you need tails again? You're on the road. You're not at home. You're not playing with house money. Come on. Heads, heads, heads. Heads or tails? Heads. Bandoruski do. Tell him. Heads! Damn it! mean, how many times you got to call fucking tails and you think it's going to... Come on, Baker. Channeling your inner Asian that's on your side. Come on. We got the percentages here. Fucking tails, you idiot. Golly. Trap game, baby. No Godwin, no Evans, no McMillan. You tell me any other team that doesn't have their top 3 receivers if they would be able to hang with the Chiefs like this. I don't think you could name one. And let alone 2 of my 3 receivers are Hall of Famers. But we're fighting. We're scrapping. All right, it's overtime. No. Tails is terrible. Not in the NFL. You always call heads. Go back and look at every game, playoffs or, overtime. You don't call tails. You call heads. Play action fake. Check down. There we go. Kareem Hunt. Big pop there by Antoine Winfield Jr. on the sideline. I think I just got my 10 points out of Kareem Hunt, even though I wanted like 14 to 17. Awesome game. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Kareem Hunt, 11.1. First down and 10. Hunt again. Good defense there by Tampa. Go Bucs. Yeah, well, I'm talking about Tampa, not overall. Every team is going to have their percentages and what happens. So it might have been different for the Seahawks, but I'm just talking about Tampa. Anytime you go to overtime or you end up having a big game, heads. At least for our team. It might be different for your guys' teams, but like every time we call tails, we never get it. We never get it. The only times we end up getting the coin toss is heads. Mahomes, little flip to Kelsey. First down, Chiefs. Travis Kelsey from Patrick Mahomes. First down and 10. Hand off to Kareem Hunt. It looks like they're just going to dink and doink and try to get Bucker in the range. I mean, unless they get the touchdown, obviously that would be the way to end the game. Get up, Kareem Hunt. Don't be injured. Field goal and a field goal, you can go that route, but a touchdown does win the game. Field goal doesn't win the game, though. Field goal gives the opportunity for us to get a field goal, so. Hey, block a field goal for a touchdown. I'll take that. Second down and 6. Throw to the sideline. D-Hop. Got to tackle him. D-Hop having himself a game. First down, Chiefs. All right, take care. Thank you so much for your support. I'll get you some more photos in the future. I'll have to kind of look to see what we got going on for the Kraken and the NBA here since baseball is over. NASCAR is over this weekend. So maybe we'll end up doing the Kraken maybe tomorrow. And maybe take Wednesday off. Mahomes. Kraken play the Avalanche tomorrow at 6, so I think that's what we're going to do. Have a good day. Appreciate for your all the support. And we got Kraken and Avalanche tomorrow, more than likely. And then Wednesday will probably be a day off unless there's something that I want to do NBA-wise. And then Thursday we'll do Thursday Night Football. Second and 8, Mahomes. Kelsey, first down, Chiefs. Yeah, it definitely feels like the Chiefs are winning now. Hey, at least we fought, though. You know, I think we gained a lot of respect from a lot of fans, you know, that, you know, with no Evans, no Godwin, no McMillan, and we were able to take the Chiefs to the limit. And honestly, I'm just happy that Mahomes didn't have a season-ending injury, if I'm being honest. First down and 10. Mahomes, hands off. Kareem Hunt. I mean, if I'm going to end up losing this game, I might as well get a Kareem Hunt touchdown to get me more fantasy points. You know, if you really want to do me the right way and not do me dirty, you know, have Hunt get the touchdown for the win. But the way that this game has been going, hell, it might be D-Hop with 3 touchdowns in the game. Kind of feels like it. Or maybe Kelsey gets in. Or a rando. We'll see. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Second down and 5. This one feels like it's pretty much over. Timeout. We need 5 more likes to get to 30. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 4 more to hit the goal. We're at 26. 4 more to go before the stream ends. Let's get there. False start. Kelsey. Where was the false start on that play? Where's the flag? Clear false start on the Chiefs line. We're not going to call that? Come on. Let them win, but let them win the right way. I mean, if a guy is dancing around with his legs and it's clearly before the snap, how can you not call that? Come on, referees. I get it, you want the Chiefs to win, but call the play if it's false start. Look at the false start. Come on. Jesus Christ. You know, that's why people think that the NFL is rigged for the Chiefs. It's because shit like that. Where's the call? They're going to win the game anyways. Just call the penalty. Third down and 1. Kareem Hunt. Touchdown, Chiefs, and I get my wish. Kareem Hunt, fantasy points, baby. Chiefs win. There we go. I still would have liked that penalty would have been called correctly, though. The Kareem Hunt touchdown would have happened anyways. Just call it. There we go. That's the fantasy points I want. Kareem Hunt, 18.7. Bang! Wish we would have won the game, but I get my Kareem Hunt touchdown. The wins haven't been pretty, but again, as long as you're winning, that's all that matters. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. And hopefully the referees can call false starts at an appropriate amount of time. Nice job, Kareem Hunt, getting me my points, baby. Being at like 8 points and then now at almost 19. I love it. Congratulations, Chief O'Chief and Odin. Nice job. Big victory for you guys. And Mahomes didn't get seriously hurt. So I think we can say as a NFL fan base, that's a win. We definitely don't want fucking this, right? We want fucking this. So we pushed you guys to the limits. And again, not very many teams can do that. GG, my guy. GG, my guy. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score in overtime, Chiefs 30, Buccaneers 24. And again, we'll be live tomorrow, more than likely, for the Abs and the Kraken. I believe at 5 or 6 p.m., unless we do something different. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Shout out to my Bucks for playing hard. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatic, and I'm out. Okay.